your eggs.
I'm not playing with anything. I'm playing with your eggs. Eggs.
As we go live, they hear, I'm playing with your eggs. Because we are professional.
Yes, we are. So, here we go. This is the, nobody's watching us, but I'm sure they'll start to filter in.
We have 10 people watching. Of course,
really?
I am one of them, so 9 people watching.
All right, well, my live feed isn't catching up. It says now 2, 7. I'm really holding out for the Orenites to show up again. So, like, we can.
There's Paul.
Paul's here.
I will make the call.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're good.
All right, so we this is our third or fourth year of doing this. Who's getting feedback? Who's getting feedback?
I have my volume off, not me.
Oh, okay.
Joe Wiggins.
It was Joe Wiggins. So okay, so this is our third or fourth week of doing the Gen Con Extravaganza. This is when we go through every game that is listed that it will be for sale at Gen Con. In the past, I think we tried to do the ones that were the whole list, but it was ridiculous because it's like 600 games or something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the entire list of games that are going to be for sale. If you want to go ahead and follow along the list with us, and whether you're watching this live or you're watching this after the fact, if you are, good God, why? But you can go ahead and head to BoardGameGeek.com. Make sure you go there and click on some ads because poor Scott Adley, can't even write his own name anymore. So, get him some click-throughs, get him some help. And then, but thankfully, you can go over there. There's the Gen Con preview link. You should be able to see it. And you'll click on that, and then you'll be able to go through everything. What we did is we filtered just games for sale, and we did a view all. There's a little button on the bottom you can click, and so now that you have this. I think Keith just said it was 372.
372.
372 titles. So strap in. Before we start, I just want to I got 2 things I want to talk about. The first one is I think I think I have a good travel thing, Scott. I'm gonna bring some of the eggs.
Sweet.
They are. I haven't had one yet. I'm gonna test one out tomorrow. This is my pickled eggs. This is a recipe that
There goes our viewers.
Lance will not be at Gen Con this year.
Food poisoning.
So no, I have pickled jalapeno eggs dozens of times. This is a recipe that's been kind of handed down. My mother perfected it and helped me out and kind of created it, and I've since taken it and done it myself. So that's like 3 dozen eggs in that jar, and I'm gonna try to bring like a good dozen. I hopefully I can find a container. I got one of those lunch containers that I can freeze. And then it'll slowly thaw out as the day goes on, kind of thing. But you freeze it, and I can put a Tupperware container in there that'll hold the eggs, and then they should make it just fine. I'll just put it in my luggage, and make sure that it doesn't get broken or anything like that. So I'll be able to bring those, and you'll be able to test those out.
I will build a rudimentary nest, and I will carry the eggs across country.
So you might have to focus on that one screen if we ever.
Well, we'll get to it. Jeez, relax.
We can cut back and forth.
The other thing is that if you follow me on social media, you'll and this is all 6 of you. You might already know this story, but I just have to share this story because I thought it was funny. So I've been feeling like, well, let's actually go back up. So like I'm horrible, and I didn't like a while ago, and how long ago I don't care to actually admit because I'm actually kind of embarrassed by it, but a while ago. I was starting to experience like tingling sensations in like my left pinky toe. Like it was just this weird feeling. It kind of would feel numb, and then it would go away, and then it would come back, and would go away, and it'd come back, and of course you immediately Google stuff up like that, and it's just bad news. And so I just kind of
foot went to sleep.
No, and so I just shut it out of my mind. I didn't want to think about it, and I just kind of whatever. And so I just kind of dealt with it, and then there was some other weird health things going on, and I always just said, well, it's probably because you don't get enough exercise and you eat too much, and you're not like in the best of shape of your life, that kind of thing. And so, but like my recent thing with my niece and her sickness is just kind of one of those things where you just kind of I started looking at my kids, and I started saying, "Oh, you know, it's like I really want to kind of be here to see like their grandchildren." And who's like moving stuff around?
Lego Voltron.
No, I just dumped my box. Sorry.
No, so and then the thing was is things just kind of started getting a lot worse. Like then my like right pinky toe started feeling weird, and I was getting some weird aches and pains in my feet and stuff like that. So I was like, everything I googled said you have diabetes. That's everything I said, and so I was like, you know, I better just go check. I better go in. So I finally went into my doctor, and I got in there, and they took a bunch of my blood, and so like everybody thought it was funny because like basically he came back in the room, and my wife is there because she's all freaked out and worried that I'm gonna die or something, and making sure that the life insurance premium was paid. And so she and he comes back in, and and the guy's got a very dry sense of humor, and I was like, so do I have diabetes? And he said, nope, you're just fat. And I was just like, he's just like, and I was like, oh, and he's like, yeah. So he said, we checked your blood. He said, your blood pressure is great. I don't know how you have this good of blood pressure. It's like it's in like the 120, low 120s, over like 77. It's something weird, something great. He's like, I have people that run 5 miles a day that don't have blood pressure like you do. They wish they have, what you had. And he's just going through, no cholesterol, no nothing, no this, no this, no this, no this. He's like, and I was like, so what's going on? And he's like, well, you weigh about 100 pounds too much. And so if you were your 2 feet, even though you wear, because I wear size 13 shoes, size 13 wide. And he's like, even if I were even though you got big feet, he said, he's like, you still have been walking on those feet for 46 years, and they don't like it anymore because they're carrying an extra 100 pounds. He said, you need to start. He's like, what do you have for lunch? And I was like, I don't know, like a sandwich, maybe a couple sandwiches or something. He's like, no, you need to start having a hard-boiled egg and walking for 30 minutes. That's your lunch from now on, he said. So he was joking around and having some fun. He said, well, I ran a couple other tests, but I mean, this is all going to come back normal. He said, I'm going to get you hooked up with a podiatrist. Maybe they can get you like a better shoe or something. So like, because I have really flat feet. Like, I think I've told the story before and Rob, you might not have heard this, but those things where you go in the Dr. Scholl's, like, see which type of shoe you should, or what type of insert you should have in your thing. You go to the store.
Yeah.
And so that you go up there and you stand on the 2 little things with where your feet are.
So
yeah. So, really scientific, right? So my wife goes and stands on. The kids wanted to try it, so my wife goes and stands on it. Okay, you need to get this insert, and then the kids both do it, and they're like, "Yeah, do it, yeah, do it." I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do it." And he's like, "No, just do it." I was like, "I have flat feet; it doesn't work. Just do it." And I've been told I have Fred Flintstone feet like all the time, and so finally I go up there, fine, So I kick off my sandals and I go and I stand on it, and everybody else, it took like 5 seconds. It was like, boom, you need insert 3. And it was just like, first of all, I noticed that my feet were too large for the 2 sensors that they wanted. So I was just like, well, that ain't good. And I was just in there, and it was just thinking. No lie, like 40 seconds go by, and then the computer screen says, please take off your shoes before using the machine. I was like, this is why I didn't want to do it. But anyway, regardless, I have bad feet. And so I was just like, okay, sounds good. And I was just kind of thinking, okay, how am I going to, I need to go for more walks, take the dogs, that kind of thing. So then my phone rings the next day, and it's my doctor. And he's like, hey, Lance, Dr. Curtis. And I was like, hey, how's it going? He's like, yeah, so you have acute hypothyroidism. And I was just like, oh, what does that mean? And this is the closest like I can tell you like exactly. It's like he said. I was like, what is that? He's like, it means your thyroid's crapped out on you. And I was like, well, how? Why? Why did it do that? He's like, nobody really knows. I mean, just pretty much just bad luck. It just seemed to happen. And I was like, so what do I do? He's like, well, I sent over a prescription. You need to start taking this pill every day. For how long? The rest of your life. I was like, seriously? Yeah, it's never going to get better. It's just like yeah, this is what you're going to do. And he's just like, so pretty much all the problems I was having before, he's like, this is probably the root of all this stuff that's been going on, just like, cause like the stuff, like I can't sleep, like profuse sweating just out of nowhere, stuff like this. He's like, your thyroid controls all of that stuff, and it's probably what's causing. So he said, I went ahead and canceled your podiatrist appointment and come back in 30 days for some more blood work, and then we'll figure out if we're giving you the right dose. So yeah, that's me.
That controls your metabolism, right?
Yeah, and it's like, so he's like, this is supposed to be at because the level that they look for is that it's supposed to, like, the thyroid's supposed to put a certain amount of hormone that brings this number down, and they want it to be around 6. And mine was at like 14, which is just like, they said this, yeah, it's like, you said these symptoms started like a year ago. He's like, yeah, you need to do this. He's like, this is pretty bad, actually. He's like, you should have come in like a year ago. So the moral of the story is, if something really weird or stupid happens with your body, even though I hate going to doctors, you should really go to doctors and make sure that it gets taken care of. So.
Why do I just visualize this whole experience going just like this? You're fat. Your thyroid's dead. That'd be $74.95, please.
No, $749.95.
You're about 1-0.
I have good insurance. Well, actually, my wife has good insurance that, like, thankfully, like, she allows me to cash in on. But
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's
So
get
there you
cracking.
Yeah, let's get cracking. And then one other thing about the actual list. I just want to say this out loud. There are people that are within this group, like Joe Wiggins. His job is within the board game world. Pete's job is within the board game world. My job is within the board game world. Scott Adley runs some website or something.
The greatest website ever.
Yeah. He runs Pornhub? No,
Yes,
no, edit that. Somebody edit that out.
I mean,
okay, good. We got that.
But
Yes, and all right. So, a lot of the stuff we're gonna say is opinions, and everybody should take that as just our opinion is not worth. You want to speak up and say differently? Go ahead. But my opinion is that our opinions don't hold any more weight than anybody else's, and I want us to be able to be free and open and just discuss what we want to discuss. And if nobody else doesn't feel, if Joe, you don't feel like saying something because of whatever, fine, that's totally fine. But I work for Tasty Minstrel Games. I'm going to be very frank and honest with games that I don't think are good, or games that I think are going to waste people's time if they pick them up. And I say that because I'm trying to put on my professional media creator boots for this conversation. So
and for the most part, we're just trying to entertain ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So and also, I've always said, just because I don't think a game is good doesn't mean the game isn't good. There's going to be people out there that are going to enjoy the hell out of it.
I've never heard you say that.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
all right,
you have. Let's do this.
Number. But they're not numbered.
Coming in at number 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Sword crafters. Keith, go for it.
All right. First, we have Adam's Apple Games, LLC, at booth number 2663 with Sword Crafters and Sword Crafters Expanded Edition.
I know nothing about this title.
Have you guys seen the sword for this thing?
I got a little background on
think
this,
the sword alone.
Yeah. So I got a little background on this, actually. The publisher is actually he's a Minnesota native, and my daughter and I played this at Con of the North last year and had a lot of fun with it. And it's the game is relatively simple. It's just you collect tile. It's a split and share, like I split, you pick type of thing. And then you get to slowly build up your sword with these different colors and whatever, and the different things will give it different powers and so on and so forth. And it's just you're trying to match up different colors and score some points at the end of the game. I think the mechanisms of it are pretty standard. But the fun thing is making the sword, obviously.
It looks cool. It looks cool. Just looking at it and looking at the pictures on BGG, the game looks interesting. I just don't know, and I've not seen it. I don't know if this was a Kickstarter or if this was a straight to retail. I've not seen any information on it.
This will be a game. I think it went through Kickstarter, but this will be a game that, like, if you have kids that like playing Minecraft, you'll be able to play this game and they'll enjoy it. So
It was a Kickstarter.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume when I see expanded edition and retail edition that it's a Kickstarter.
There's a deluxe version.
yeah, there you go.
Okay. Cool.
There you go.
That's good.
I'll be honest. Count me in on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
I wanna see
no
it.
idea. I'm not sure
Why?
it'll catch my radar, but it'll be worth taking a peek at. When
I'm gonna take a peek at it. I think that's exactly where it warrants at this point.
It's interesting. The categories are different from the two versions. I think that might be my problem.
But I'll say this: if we take 2 minutes for each one of these games, we're going to be here until
800
let's go.
Next game.
Go through some stuff very quickly coming up.
Yeah.
So next up, we have AEG, Alderac Entertainment Group, at 701 and 803. First up is The Captain is Dead Lockdown. It's an expansion, so or it appears to be. So if you give a crap about The Captain is Dead, there you go. Next up, we have Greedy Kingdoms, which I know nothing about, but it says it's a betting, wagering, secret unit deployment, bluffing card game.
Secret unit deployment is a mechanism.
Bruno Fedudi
apparently.
and Miyamoto Kisaragi.
Hey, kiss a what?
Kisaragi? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm probably saying
Kisaragi.
Kisaragi.
Kiss me,
If
Augie.
you're into
That's
secret unit deployment,
It's
got a bluffing-
Be your jam.
It's a Fight Duty game. I'll check it out.
All right. So
Oh, it's a re-implementation of a 2009 game, but probably none of us played it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably was like
Fantastic. Okay, next up we've got Istanbul, the dice game. So if you want an inferior version of Istanbul, which is an even more inferior version of Yokohama, go for it.
Yeah. There you
I'm gonna be
go.
the naysayer here. I guess I'm the only one that likes
I
it.
played this at BGG-Con last year and I hated it.
Really?
Because it
You felt
felt
right.
nothing like Istanbul.
No, it's nothing like Istanbul.
Exactly. So why didn't you just make a fresh new game instead of slapping your dice game on
because the
another
art
game?
already exists.
Yeah.
The thing I like about this is
And
it
they're
does
hoping people will buy it because of the fact.
Because it says Istanbul, even though it has nothing to do with Istanbul.
Yep.
Wasn't Istanbul a Spiel des Jahres winner or something?
yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
they can still cash in on that. So
Yeah,
that's
and
okay.
that's exactly what they're doing. They're cashing in on the name, even
Yep.
though it doesn't say they-
Just take everything you know and throw it out the window.
You know what? It may flip somebody's trigger. I just didn't care for it.
The thing I like about it is it has a it's not one of those like roll 3 times kind of games. You just roll once and you do your stuff. Makes it super quick.
Yeah, I mean, it
You
was
have
fine.
rerolls, but you have to get a resource to reroll.
But there's so many other dice games out there, like Gonstrom Clever and others, that are so much better than this. Or even if I go with, say, the Castles of Burgundy dice game, I'd rather play those over this every time. So your
16
mileage
people have marked this as must have.
I would
122.
I would have really went after it if the name was different, like Poughkeepsie, New Jersey, or something.
or
it's
at
just
least
the
if they went with
Istanbul thing.
Constantinople, you know.
Yeah, that's where I got lost.
Next up from AEG is Magical Treehouse, a card drafting fantasy real-time game. And I'll tell you right now, I will tune out when I see real-time anymore. But it looks like it's a re-implementation of a 2015 game. So, or at least originally released and brought out in English.
Probably like a Tokyo Games Market game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does look like that. So I don't know. Take a look if you're interested. Next up from AEG, and I'm going to blast through this, an expansion for the mediocre game Mystic Veil, followed by an expansion for the crappy game Smash Up, which overstays its welcome, followed by a bigger, geekier box because you didn't have enough Smash Up garbage to put in the first big-ass box.
Oh, wow. They made
So,
a bigger box.
It's an
Well,
even bigger box.
this is a box that holds the other big boxes, so you can put 3 of the big boxes in this big box.
It is kind of cool in this box, I will admit, because I saw a quick screenshot that it has a trays to put all the tokens and crap in, so that you can at least organize your garbage game to play it. But and Smash Up isn't garbage; it just takes too long to play. I
wish it automatically calculated them points.
Yeah, the
The mapping is hard.
I even tried the app and I could. It just takes too long to play a game. It just overstays its welcome. Next up is Trainmaker, a re-release of Chris Leader's game, which was kickstarted a few years back. So that's being re-released with some new art. It's a nice little dice game.
Wish your luck.
Yep.
That's the new art.
Yeah, that's the new art.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean it's not real
Went
grand
all out.
art, but
they went all out.
yeah, they did.
Same
next up
as
is-
the old art.
War Chest. War
This got
Chest
my
is
interest.
area control, area
Yeah.
influence, deck pool building, medieval war game. I will let somebody else take this because the box cover does nothing for me.
Is it only 2-player?
2 to 4.
2 to
2 to
4.
4.
30 minutes, 2 to 4 players.
It's got the words that I like.
It looks abstract.
Oh,
Isn't-
you know
it
what?
looks like
It
an
looks like
abstract
a
game.
Titan. Looks like a Titan board. You guys play Titan?
Oh yeah, I haven't played
You know
in
when
a
you
long
do the
time.
battles? I wonder if it's
Yeah.
something like that. Oh, so it's got like special characters, bag building.
It looks
Poker
like
chips?
just an all-out brawl game, and
Yeah, but I guess it's got a bag building element.
yeah,
Hmm.
I was kind of interested in it. I want to check it out.
I like the looks of the graphics.
Yeah.
That totally looks like Titan to me.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does have a very that feel.
That could be
All
interesting.
right.
Let's move on.
Next up, Aaliyah. And so I took a peek at this because there's been a lot of buzz about this one. And it's The Rise of Queensdale for a meager $80. But from my understanding, this is another kind of legacy Euro game.
Yeah, the box
Which-
is almost as big as Gloomhaven.
Really?
It's
Really?
What?
packed. It is huge. It is full of cardboard and cards. Massive.
I mean, I'm looking at a picture. It doesn't look anything near Gloomhaven.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close.
And
I know, it's
so-
weird.
The only
Like,
thing
the
about this
scale-
that actually made me interested at all was like the whole dice upgrading actions. You know, like
Yeah, I like that.
It also
like-
comes with a plunger.
Yeah, it does. It has a little purple plunger. What's up with that?
In case you get stuck in the rule book.
Yeah.
It's a legacy game.
But this
Yeah.
is, I mean, once again, is this a game that I'm going to feel like I have to race off and get like right here, or will I just wait until I can just
No.
pick it up at my local game store?
No, because you don't need to play it at the con if it's a legacy game, because you're going to
Exactly.
play with your
No.
buddies.
So you might as well
it's-
wait till you get home.
It's
Especially
going to
if
be
it's
a
that big
miss
and
for me
heavy.
because legacy games are too hard to get to the table, is what I've found. Even
All I
though
know
I
is-
love them, they're hard to get to the table.
It says 45 to 60 minutes, but from the pictures of the setup, it probably takes that long just to set the game up.
And let's be fair. I mean, Charterstone made a big splash, but then like nobody, I don't know anybody who plays Charterstone.
Well, the people that played it have
Everybody
finished it,
finished
most
it.
likely.
Yeah.
I've still got Charterstone to go, but I'm taking a little break.
Yeah, me too. I'm about five games in. out
So
the
some
12.
of the games are really fast in this game, from what I understand. Like Chad Roberts played it to completion earlier this year, and I walked by his table and watched him play, and like one game could take like 15 to 20 minutes. And then, but you just kind of keep going, right, with the legacy thing. Some of them are very fast. Some of them are longer, obviously.
Okay.
All right.
Let's move
Moving
on.
on, we've got Ankama at 27.53 with Boof Bowl, which
Boof
sounds
Bowl?
like something I don't want. And it just
I think
sounds
this entire
crazy.
category is going to be something.
It's
Uh,
a train wreck.
And
It's
then
a
we've
train
got
wreck.
Mhm.
Brothers Dino Party, which is a modular board action dexterity children's game, Hen House Havoc, and Kingdom Run. So if you're a fan of chibi looking board games, go check out Ankama. I believe that's the folks that brought us the Crossmaster
Yep,
series.
that is them.
And so take a look if it strikes your fancy.
I guess
but we're
the
going to
Boof
move
Bowl
on.
is the Crossmaster style
Blood Bowl.
type
Yep.
game.
I
Yeah.
kind of enjoy how arbitrary it is that one of the games is 10 plus, then 8 plus, then 6 plus, then 10 plus, then 7 plus. Like, how do they decide what game is for a 6-year-old and what game's for a 7-year-old and an 8-year-old?
That's a
don't-
good question. Usually that kind of stuff is based on product testing. But
Yeah.
in this case, it sounds completely random.
It's like it's either 14 plus or not, but it's like they very much specified what ages these are for, which I find very weird.
All right. Next up is Ape Games at 1739 with MOA from Martin Wallace, which is an area control area influence hand management game for 2 to 5 players. It has neat art on the cover.
I'm just going to say this, and I'm sure Mr. Wiggins will disagree with me. I can't remember the last time I was excited about a Martin Wallace game.
Oh no, he's made one good game ever.
Come on. You guys.
Which game do you think he is? What's the good game?
Well, I mean,
Brass, right? Or Age of Steam.
Well, it's Brass. there's debate whether he designed Age of Steam or not, but
Sure.
But no, I think it's
He
Brass.
designed it.
Brass is his one good game.
I like Boonga.
I like Princes of Florence. No, not what is it called? Princes of the Renaissance?
Princes of the Renaissance. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that one.
Yeah, but I enjoyed Moonga Invaders. I'm pretty proud of the fact that I have his old like the all wooden pieces version, and not the one that they kickstarted and then basically made him hate publishing games.
And London. What about London?
London.
I like, and I don't like
Automobiles.
the new London. I like the old London. But anyway, that's just me.
I think people that put Martin Wallace in the category of like greatest designers ever is no. I don't think that's
Man,
right.
you're harsh. He's one of the greatest.
That's
designers
all right.
ever.
Let's stick to games that are coming out of Gen Con.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, since nobody seemed to have anything about this, but just his previous body of work.
I like the art.
I'll get Oldie going on that a little bit later
Yeah.
on the list. Next up, Petrichor is going to be for sale, which I played this last year at BGG Con. This game is beautiful. You are clouds dumping rain and stuff on the board.
It's a unique theme.
It's a unique theme, and there's a lot of area control stuff going on. There's a lot of screw your buddy type of action. in
This
too.
is super take that.
Yeah,
It looks kind of cool. Looking at the
is
picture.
Oh, the
Oh,
design
looks
is
so
awesome.
serene, and it is a complete asshole game. I mean,
Yeah.
you can just be vicious in it.
I couldn't play it because it was just like it was so mean, like deliberately in your face, just dick move after dick move.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
So
you know,
you-
clouds.
so you better be
clouds.
you
Clouds
better
are
be prepared
assholes.
for that.
It's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
funny because it looks like such a
thunderclouds.
cool like theme. You know, you're like, oh, clouds and rain. It sounds so
Oh yeah,
peaceful.
it
and
looks
then
pretty
fucking
unpeaceful, and
like
it's not. It is.
It is pretty random too. I would
What is
say.
the voting?
Anytime you can use the phrase "I'm going to rain on your ass,"
That is pretty true. Mhm.
What is the
But
voting part of
it's
it?
not that peaceful.
Oh, you
The
vote
voting?
on the weather.
Oh, you like get to vote on like the one action. Like when you take an action, one of the 4 actions in the game is going to happen for everyone at the end, and you kind of get to like push that for. It's weird.
Okay.
It's an interesting little game. Take a look at it. But I tell you what, at least go by the booth and look at it on the table because it's gorgeous.
It looks nice.
Next up, Arcane Wonders at 1249 has 2 giant robot games, or the same giant robot game with 2 different factions within it, which is a player versus player giant robot game.
Are they gonna
Uh,
Mass.
Yeah,
called
Critical Mass. Patriots versus Iron Curtain and Rasian versus Arcjon.
I actually saw this at Origins. I thought it was really good. I think it's fun for what it is.
And it's not expensive. They're only $25 each, so you can get
Yeah.
both halves of the game for $50.
Oh, is it abstracted? Like there's no board; it's just fighting.
Mhm.
Well, no. Each set is a 2-player battle thing. So if you want all 4 different factions and then mix them up, you'd have to buy both sets.
Right.
So-
But
Well, I
there's
think
no
what he's saying is
maneuvering.
there's no miniatures or anything on the board.
No, I think it's just a card game. From what I saw of it when
It
I
looks
saw
like
it on
you're
the
just
table,
battling
I
each
saw
other.
some of it.
Yeah,
at
it's just a card game.
one of the trade shows, and yeah, it was just cards.
Cool.
It has that a little bit of that Robotech kind of feel because, if I remember correctly, you're kind of using your cards, but you're burning, you're causing heat in some way.
Right.
like a lot of mech games have that in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Good Critters, English First Edition, a simultaneous action selection voting bluffing negotiation game. So it's another social game. This one's got some little critters in it. Other than that, I know nothing, heard nothing about it, so it's not pulling me in. It's $25. Next up, an expansion for Onitama. If you like Onitama, there's an expansion. Go buy it.
Onitama was very good.
Then next up is Since She English First Edition, which is Set Collection Abstract Strategy. And I don't know anything about it.
No.
But it is a 2 to 4 player game, not a 1 versus 1.
But it's like this. Oh, I was get a little bit worried. It's like, oh, this is a total like in-depth strategy game that lasts 15 minutes. Like, well, I'll take your word for it because I'm going to have trouble believing that I'm going to be like really diving into deep strategy in 15 minutes.
Well,
So.
what are you talking about? You can get into huge strategy in 15 minutes.
Onitama's not bad. It actually does feel strategic, even though it's a very short game.
Yeah, Onitama's a good little game. It is actually very good.
Yep.
It's pretty.
It is pretty too.
Next up, we are going to go visit Aries Game at booth 335 for Master of the Galaxy English-Russian First Edition, which is some kind of space exploration game.
Yeah, I saw the preview for this. It looked pretty interesting. It does some interesting things.
This has been coming for a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so.
it's been rolling around for a while. I dug the board. I really like the board with all the little pathings and like the little, I dug. I mean,
the board does look cool.
Aries games just seem to either go really well for me or not well at all. So
I get the same feeling from them. I love War of the Ring, and then I played like last Friday, and I was like,
That's Brady's a hot.
The thing about this game is I remember it's pretty quick. I don't know if this 45 to 120 is correct. When I remember watching the demo, it was like under an hour.
45 to 120 is a pretty big swing too.
Yeah, I think when I was watching this video, he said it was like done in an hour.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I want to play a Civilization space game for an hour. Like it seems like something you really want to get into.
You should look at it. I mean, I watched this demo. I remember watching it and being like, that looked different and looked interesting. And it has tech and it has ships and it's cool.
Well, I'll take a look at it. It's not going to be high on my want list, but it does look interesting.
If you like 4X games, though.
Okay. All right.
Next up from Aries, 2 expansions to the very popular new game, Sword and Sorcery.
These do look cool, and I do like Sword and Sorcery, so these are must-buys for me.
I have the Arcane portal, and it's really nice. I was surprised at how much you got in that little box. So
I love Sword and Sorcery.
I want to get the Darkness Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started playing last weekend, and I put 20 hours in.
Nice. Wow.
Nice. It's good.
It's glorious.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I wish the combat was a hair quicker, but
I agree.
It's still good combat.
All right, next up, we've got from Artana, we've got a Daryl Andrews, which is friend of the show occasionally, or at least friend of some of ours, has a game coming. Dice rolling set collection game called Speakeasy Blues. It's got
There's no information.
I don't have any information, but
Dice game from the guys that made Sagrada. So
yeah, and I played it. I did a video for it a while back. It's fun. I mean, it's the theme really helps a lot because it's like the whole like gangster 1920s era, and I like that theme. So if they had transported this into like a space world or something like that, I wouldn't have had as much fun. The theme really helps out a lot.
And I'll check out something that Daryl's done just because he's good people. So I'll at least give it a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I won't crap on it like I do everything.
I'm just excited that Artana has a booth. They no-showed Origins. I haven't talked to Marcus in a long time. I really want to see him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of surprised this day and age with one picture.
That's all you
and
got
nothing,
coming in
and
Con?
of any sort.
Yeah, it's
like,
a little odd.
If they wanted to try to sell this game ahead of time, they didn't do a very good job.
No, I totally agree.
I think they have. There's I'll talk off camera.
Topic for another day.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Just
go ahead,
putting
Keith.
that out there.
All right, next up, Asmati Games has an expansion for Matanai. So if you want a knockoff of Glory to Rome because they couldn't reprint it, here's your chance to get an expansion for that.
I have 2 things. One, they sold like the Matanai deluxe version or something last year, and I almost picked it up. I was like, I should just buy this, and then I talked myself out of it. Then I said I should buy this. I talked myself out of it, and I'm glad I talked myself out of it because all of a sudden, like, here's an expansion that wouldn't fit in the box. And that's stuff that makes me mad. It's like, oh, well, here's this deluxe version, and you're just like, oh, sweet, it's like cool. Well, here's an expansion that isn't deluxe, that doesn't fit in the box anymore. You suck, just like. And then the other thing is that I do believe that once again, my boss reached out to Cambridge Games and asked once again about inquiring as to whether or
He'll
not,
never sell it.
he could get the rights to Glory to Rome, and he was once again rebuffed.
He will not sell it.
Out of spite.
So weird to me.
It's completely and totally out of spite.
I think so.
It doesn't fit. You suck. Here, have an egg.
Yeah.
I like Watana. I think it's good.
Yeah. But would you rather have that or Glory to Rome?
Glory to
Glory to
Rome.
Rome.
Glory to Rome.
But
Exactly.
I don't. I got my black box Glory to Rome. It's gonna last me a lifetime.
Yeah, I've got my black box over there. So
All
right.
Anyway,
Moving on.
I miss
B&B
playing
Game
my.
Studio.
Oh, fine. We'll just stop.
Oh, go ahead. We can talk and not go over
8
them.
hours, Lance.
Shut up. I miss. I actually traded away both. I had 2 copies of the bad art version, and I kind of wish I still had them.
The what is it, business card version?
Yeah, and with the really bad, the bad cartoon art.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
I had that until I got the black box.
It's endearing. It's charming.
Yeah. So
Actually, I think it's, even though the art's not great, it's still decent. It still makes it cool, just because it's so bad that it's.
It is a
not.
shame though that I would probably put Glory to Rome in a top 100 list, and you cannot get the game.
Yeah. Not unless you pay an arm and a leg for it. So moving on. Though I did know somebody who. Sorry, I did know somebody who had made arts cal files for it. So you
Pirated.
could, pirated. You could if you had no scruples, you could definitely go that route.
So this gets off topic. But let me ask a question: are you unscrupulous for pirating something that you can't possibly buy?
Yes.
Because you're not hurting anyone's intellectual property because they're not selling it. You're not stealing.
I'll say this, and we should move on. But if you go and look at there's a game on BGG. It's like a Mount Everest climbing game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was and a lot of people wanted to have it to play it, and there were these 2 or 3 people that owned copies, and then people had reached out to them. It's like, look, it's like nobody even knows who this designer is. I think they found out that he had actually died, and so they were just like, can you just take pictures of the components, and then we and make photocopies of the rules and upload them, and all of them were just like, well, no, we won't, just because it was some weird which is fine, sense of duty to the designer that they couldn't. But go look at that, and it's and technically, unless you have the express, whoever owns the estate or whatever, unless you have their okay, it's still technically illegal. So
It is.
There you go.
70 years, it'll go out of copyright.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, but then you have people that like I did. You make a chip version of Dominion, and people are just like, well, that's fine. Oh, okay. Why is that fine? But anyway, who cares?
Next.
All right.
B&B Game Studio, Highlander the Duel.
If you like,
I wish this was multiplayer.
I've got it.
Yeah,
Save
if
my
you
table.
if you like 2-player battling games, it's pretty good.
Yep. And it's the Highlander. So
Okay. Next up, Noises at Night.
And that is a cool game as well for kids. That if you have kids and you I could definitely it's quick. You could play it right before bed, and it'd be something that you'd be able to play with your kids to maybe if they have problems with the idea of ghosts and stuff like that. You could definitely use that as a hey, look, there's no reason to be scared of the dark. Let's play this game, because you can be done in 10 minutes. And it's like the graduated version of what was that game, Monsters, where you reached into the bag and you pulled a monster. I forget what it was, but kind of like that. But they're totally different games, but you could the theme wise. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, Bezier Games. Starting off with Ultimate Werewolf Legacy, because Rob Daviau wanted to make some werewolf with Ted.
I wish I knew more about this.
I don't know.
will
It's
say,
Werewolf and its legacy. It's $60 for Werewolf.
go look at the book that's in this though. It's ridiculous.
Let me bring up pictures.
The book that's in this is just it's on another
the diary,
level.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, but
But it's Werewolf.
well, I
For
know.
the people that play Werewolf, because there's a group of people.
Oh
Because
my God,
I'm not
it's
one of
crazy.
them, but there's a group of people that play Werewolf, like a whole world of people out there. That's just what they do. Like we have like a social gamer society here in Cleveland, and they get together weekly and just play Werewolf and Werewolf style games. It's weird how people get that into it.
But will they break away from regular Werewolf to go play this? That's the big question.
This would be something that I'm sure that they'd be interested in because it's like an ongoing thing, right?
At the Dice Tower Con, there's always like late at night, like a group of like 60, 70 people playing Werewolf.
Have you walked the halls at Gen Con at night?
Yeah.
I mean, there's like 700 people playing Werewolf every night. But will they
And then
bother
there's
with
that-
this one?
And
I
then
don't know.
there's that room that moves every night to a different place where they're playing Naked Werewolf.
Oh, gross.
Okay, so it's an 80-page book that walks you through.
Naked Werewolf.
Naked Werewolf.
I'm glad I'm editing at that point.
Oh, man. All right. Moving on. Werewords Deluxe Edition. So it's more Werewords. This was Kickstarter. It's a Deluxe Edition. We can move on.
Paper ladder. Paper ladder.
Paper
Ladder. Yep.
paper.
Whistle Stop, Rocky Mountain expansion. So I finally played Whistle Stop, and that's a cool little game. And I played with this expansion in a demo at Origins, and I think I really like this expansion in that game. So it does some cool stuff. So if you like Whistle Stop, you should pick up that expansion. Next up, Big Fun Games has Fortune City.
Japanese game.
Does anyone know anything about it?
Nope.
It's a
Okay.
Japanese game. We're not supposed to know anything about
All right.
it.
Yep.
Japanese game. There you go.
Moving on.
Moving on. Big G Creative. So I'm not going to lie.
What
I look at these Big G
This
Creative
company.
games. I don't know, but
They've got my interest.
I want to go try at least 3 of these 4 games. I don't really care about Bob Ross, but I totally want to play Brady Bunch, Home Alone, and definitely Monster Crunch, the breakfast battle game featuring not only Boo Berry, Cow Chocolate, and Frankenberry, but Yummy Mummy and Fruit Brute.
No, I'm all in on that, dude. I will play those with you. We got to get those.
These need to
mean-
be in the hot games room so I can play
I'm pretty
these.
sure we'll have them.
Even if they're horrible,
So-
I have to play them.
The Bob Ross game is a drawing game. I mean, don't
Yeah,
know
I noticed
about
that, and I'll suck at it.
I
but
wanna
it's
play all
probably better
4.
than the other
Yeah.
Bob Ross game.
Yeah.
it.
I
And
want
I'm
to play all
guessing
4.
Brady Bunch is sort of like a werewolfy thing. Social
Oh,
deduction.
now you make me not want to play it.
Marsha.
There's apparently a family mystery, and I guess there's a
Yeah,
must be
it's
somebody
like
who
Alice
can
is
do
up to Alice is. It's a deduction game, right? Alice is trying to do something.
That bitch
trying
is
to
up to
figure
no
out
good.
what's going on. Yeah,
Out of the
Alice
3
is-
of
A Monster Crunch looks the best.
Honestly,
Look,
Monster
the
Crunch-
art looks great. I literally want to buy it just to have that box on my shelf. I don't care if the game's garbage. I just want to look at it.
Just the fact that it's got, I love that it's got Count Chocula and Boo Berry right in the front. That's
This
awesome.
is Forest. This is Forest Pruzan.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
They're the ones
it's
that made Harry Potter deck building.
it's one thing. I was looking at Home Alone and it said radio theme, and I'm like, what on earth? But it's movie, TV, radio. Okay.
Well, it's funny. The cover kind of looks like a cross stitch thing, or really
Bad
bad
Christmas
like
sweater.
32-bit art or something.
It looks like a Home Alone bad Christmas sweater is what it looks like.
So I don't know. It's entertaining, and I'm glad somebody's at least doing something.
So this is
fun.
licensed, huh? General Mills.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all in. I'm definitely gonna get
Yep.
this.
I definitely have to go to this booth number 1656, which I believe is towards the ass end of the hall.
Yep. I'm interested on all 4 of those.
Well, we're 1449,
Okay, no, it's not on
so
the
it won't
ass
be
end.
that
It's about
far away from us.
Halfway.
Yeah.
All right. Big Tater Games has Weird Things Humans Search For, English First Edition. Party trivia game.
Sounds like a prison
Tater
game.
Games. And we'll move on. It's a party trivia game. So if you're looking for a party trivia game, there you go.
Oh, you play it with the Google search where you type in the first few letters.
Oh,
I guess, few words.
interesting.
Just need the phone.
Pass. Blue Orange Games has Blue Lagoon.
Okay.
So,
Yep.
All right,
It's
moving on.
It's like a newly updated version of Through the Desert.
So it's a Reiner Knizia game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually
I
interested
thought it
now.
had a Lionel Richie CD in it.
Then an expansion for King Domino. So if you're a fan of King Domino, there's an expansion you might want to take a look at. And then next up, Scarabia or Scarabia.
Scarabia.
I don't know, but it's
Bruno
got
Cathala and Ludovic
swords.
Malblanc. A puzzle game, area enclosure. I think I saw the demo. It looked good.
I mean, it's got good designers, and Blue Orange makes some decent looking games. The presentation's at least good. I mean, Photosynthesis was a good looking game, even though it wasn't great. So, yeah.
Okay.
Brain Games, Ice Cool 2.
Yay.
So
Yeah.
Ice Cool is a fun little dexterity game. It's more of that, and you can combine it with Ice Cool 1 to make a giant school. So I
Yep.
kind of have to buy it just for that reason.
Yep. me
And it
too.
comes with, I think there's 4 different play modes or something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's a great family game too. My daughter loves playing that game.
Yeah,
Oh, God, yeah.
Ice Cool is pretty well awesome. I think it's a ton of fun. So I'll probably buy this just because it'll go in my collection with my other stuff. Next up, Orc Olympics.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know nothing about it, but it's available for pre-order for pickup at Gen Con for $15. It's some kind of auction bidding, card drafting, card game of fantasy.
Actually, I played that. I played that at Dice Tower. I
Yes?
remember playing it. Yeah, it was a
Yes?
decent little game. It's not great, but it's not bad either.
All right, so we've got a resounding meh. Good.
Exactly. It's a resounding meh.
All right then. Next up, Coco, trick-taking card game. I saw this being played a lot at Origins, but I did
Yeah.
not.
You don't see your own cards.
Oh, that's right. I walked
Hanabi.
past it, and it looked
They sit in
Hanabi
these little
style
birds.
when I ran.
It's like a peacock.
Oh yeah, I did see pictures of that. Okay.
Yeah, picture.
Yeah, that's a game mechanism I'm done with. So
Well, just piss on Coco then. Next.
well, for me, yeah, it's like when I read real time. Okay, you look at my cards. Pyramid of the Penguin, which it looks like a children's type.
This is a
game.
redo of Flush the Mummy. Fluke the Mummy.
Ooh.
Well, I already have.
Hey,
Fluke
watch your
Steel Movie,
language
So
all day. No fluking nothing.
All right,
You guys
then we
remember that
move on to
Yep.
Breaking Games. Breaking Games starts with Expand City.
I have that. I need to play it.
Who's the designer? Matt Fantastic, Alex Cutler.
Uh-huh.
Next up from Breaking Games, Rise of Tribes. English.
That
This
is
was-
very, very good.
I've
This
played
was
it too.
everywhere. at
Yeah, it
Dice
looks
Tower.
good.
Yeah, I've heard good things, but I've not played it.
It's a quick Civ. 60 minutes is legit. It's over fast.
You like
has
it better than the FFG Civil, the new Civ game they have? I like that. I
I
thought
don't know if
that
I like it better, but I like it. I like it pretty
I
well.
like it. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's quick too. I mean, like it can be done very quickly. We played
Okay.
very, very fast. It's got, and you're like, okay, try again. You know, that kind of feeling.
All right.
Okay.
Looks cool.
It has back to like all thematic with the prehistoric stuff, like developing horses and spears and.
Very good. Next up, Brotherwise Games with some more Boss Monster shit. If you like Boss Monster, go buy Boss Monster shit.
Yeah. Moving on.
You
I
can
think
actually
this
get the
is-
boss monster shit.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah,
runs
I'm in.
edition.
It's a
I
great.
think we can literally just skip Calliope games because it's just promos.
Yeah, Calliope
I
Games has a bunch of promos, like a card for roll for
Expansion
it,
for
and
Capital
some other
City.
stuff. So we're done with that. So we're moving.
Oh wow,
on to
you're right.
Capstone.
Not any new titles. I thought they had Mansky Caper coming out at Gen Con.
Yeah, I believe it's
I think they're
coming out.
supposed to, but it's not
It's
listed.
probably
for
under
sale.
demo.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they
Next
actually
up-
had copies. Okay.
Carthago is already released, but it's for sale at Gen Con.
Okay.
I finally played this. It's an interesting little game, but I don't know if I love it. I would play it, but I'm glad I didn't buy it.
It's fine.
It's fine. You're correct. That's a good description.
Great, Joe. It's fine.
It's like
Eisenstein.
Joe has to like grudgingly admit that something Capstone put out isn't fantastic.
No, I trust me. I play tested it with him. I said a lot,
Fine.
and that's what I said then too. I was like, "This is fine."
It's
whatever.
the designer of Peloponnese.
Yeah, it's a neat little game, but
And I'm not sure who Ralph Burnett is.
It's
it has multi-use cards. I like that, but
How do you say it?
Peloponnese.
Peloponnese. I knew I was saying it wrong. Couldn't have been right.
And Peloponnese is fantastic.
Well, so that's the same designer.
Yeah, I own it. I picked up a copy of Origins. I like Carthago. It's just multiple use cards. I like multiple use cards.
I like multiple use cards, but I like other multiple use card games better.
Well, that's fine.
That's where I'm at.
Okay.
Next
Why don't you
is
cry about it?
Catalyst Game Labs with an expansion for Dragonfire. And then after that, we have Shadowrun Sprawl Ops, English First Edition.
Wow, I couldn't care less about these games.
Yep.
Shadowrun's Dragonfire is my jam. It's
Is
great.
it? I've
Yeah.
got everything for it, but I haven't played it yet.
I bought the Shadowrun version, the Shadowfire.
The Dragonfire grew on me. It
Somewhat
grew
of
on
a
me.
sort of a- yeah. It's hard.
That game.
It's not as hard as Shadowrun, but it's pretty hard.
Well, I can go into what I hate about Shadowrun at another time. So we don't have to-
Dragonfire grew on me. It took a bit to get into, and it seems to be getting better. That's all I can
It's a
say
legacy
about
game,
that.
too.
Yeah.
They don't really talk about it, but you get stickers and stuff put on your characters,
Mm-hmm.
and there's campaign.
Right. Next up is Cephalofair Games with founders of Gloomhaven.
Hey, shrink wrap.
So
Yeah.
mine came
You must be
today.
really excited to play.
It came today, so I've been home for 10 minutes before we started the show.
Lies.
It's truth.
Yeah,
So
open up your Voltron.
I was
Yeah,
out.
I
I
opened
was
the Voltron
out with.
instead.
I was out with my kids and I saw your picture, and that was hours ago. So
no, that was
lies,
lunchtime. I picked it up at lunch, threw it down on my table. went back to work.
lies.
That's the truth. Anyway, the new Cephalofair game, it is not related to Gloomhaven other than by theme. It's a Euro game.
It's another game just cashing in on the success of its predecessor.
I mean, it's one of Isaac's other Euro games, right?
It
So-
has nothing to do with Gloomhaven.
Just
Well,
the setting.
okay.
It's nothing to do with.
So
But
I
there's
asked.
no fantasy elements or nothing.
Yeah, you're building the city of Gloomhaven. Is
So
what
I
you're doing this
asked
game.
Isaac about it, right? I asked Isaac, I was like, why Gloomhaven? And he was talking about another game, and I was like, oh, will that one be set in Gloomhaven? And his answer was, why not? Like, why not? I built the world, and might as well, right?
Right.
It's like,
It's just like, why does Fantasy Flight put all their games in Terranov?
It looks like
Because
there's
that's
different
it.
races.
Yes, there
That's
are.
the fantasy part.
Yes, you have different races and stuff that you're playing. You're just building up the different parts of Gloomhaven, and you're basically combining to build a tech tree with other players to build better buildings and stuff, and you get points. So if you contributed to the building that contributed to the next building that contributed to the next building, when that building's built, you get some of the points for that. And so
That's pretty high. 119 must have.
yeah, so
427 interested.
it sold pretty well on Kickstarter as well.
Okay.
It's probably the name more than
Yep.
anything else.
Probably.
A year from now, will you be thinking about this game?
I don't know. I won't know until I play it. And it's going to be I think it's going to take a while to play a game. I don't think it's going to be one of your quick games.
All right, let's move on.
Moving on. Cheap Ass Games has The Island of Dr. Lucky, English edition. Excuse me. I've got hiccups.
Is this just another map for the Lucky?
I
Dr.
think
Lucky?
so. Yeah, there's
I've
a lot
never
of Dr.
played
Lucky
it.
stuff. I'm sure they're all just different maps and slight variations of rules.
Next up, Chip Theory Games has some expansions for Too Many Bones coming, including the big overall Too Many Bones Undertow. So
can somebody sell me this game? Tell me why I should care about Too Many Bones.
it's an interesting little
I
co-op
love
dungeon
this
game.
I love this game.
It's
I absolutely love this game.
I bought it at Gen Con last year because I didn't back the Kickstarter. people talked about how great it was, and then when I saw the components of the game at Gen Con last year, I crapped myself. I just wrote him a big old, well, not a check because it's a credit card, but
Yeah.
I left with everything.
I know that it's beautiful, it looks great, but somebody tell me, like, what is the game? Why is it cool?
It's a co-op dungeon crawl.
It's somewhat abstracted, though. You're basically on a grid of like a 5x5.
Right.
And so it's tactical movement with your poker chips. Everything in the game is a poker chip. And they're nice.
Yeah.
And every monster has different powers.
There's a lot of tactical
every character
movement
has
to
like
it.
40 powers to them. You would say like 40 or something powers.
Yeah. You
have 40
upgrade all
dice
your
for every
things, you get new
character.
dice and new powers and stuff. Again, it's not you don't crawl through a dungeon, but it's a dungeon crawl.
I
It's
know
a dice
people that own the
rolling
game and they love it, and I've not
tactical
played it yet.
combat
I'm the same boat as you. I don't
I
know.
played
why everyone loves it.
Undertow. I own on Undertow. I think it's fantastic. And not only that, they put an expansion. They give you 2 new characters, but it's actually a standalone game on top of it. So you don't have to have too many bones, the original set. But you're going to want it all. Once you get going on it, it tells a wonderful story. And I enjoy it.
All the characters are very asymmetric.
Yes.
You have like they're going kind of typical fantasy classes, but they're really cool.
They play differently.
They all play differently. Yeah.
You're trying. You
And
could
all
try
the monsters
different
have special
combinations.
abilities. There's nothing vanilla in this game.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the production again is amazing because the cards are all plastic cards and the sheets are big plastic sheets.
Oh, and your character sheets are like that.
They're
massive-
neoprene mats.
And then you can stick the dice in it's cut too. Like they're
Right.
all the dice.
I know Chip Theory Games, like all their stuff, they have like a very interesting, like, we don't use cardboard mantra. Like they don't use cardboard.
they don't.
That's like their thing. Like all their cards are plastic and all their player boards are plastic. And
Yeah. And this is their new big thing.
And the
So-
dice are really nice.
Yep.
I like
and
everything.
and if
they've
you
done.
upgrade it, you can get the deluxe blood tokens, which make it even nicer.
Which I don't.
It's
think I
more
got
than the
those.
components, though. The game
The game is good.
just fun.
Yeah, the game is fun.
Okay.
So
And tweaking with your character is fun. And you have like every character has multiple paths, right?
Yeah, you may try one path and you go, oh, that was kind of cool. And then you try a different path. And then you go, wow, that's even cooler.
Yeah.
It's just,
got
I
a lot
just
of
never get bored of it.
Rob, big fan.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I got to defend it.
Exactly, as you should. Next company, Simon Limited. Let's just turn it over to the corporate shill and be done with it.
All right. Well, then we've got Council of Four, which came out earlier this year for sale. We'll have Dragon Castle, which came out about 2 months ago, which is a Mahjong take, a multiplayer Mahjong take, 2 to 4 players with objectives, and you're basically rebuilding your own castle. Uses a lot of the Mahjong style tiles, real good quality tiles. Plays fun, plays fast in 30 minutes or so. We got Gizmos. That's the one I think is going to be our big hit of the show. $35, made by the same team that made Potion Explosion. This one is fun, fast, and very accessible to all variety of ages. It's
Phil Walker Harding too.
Huh?
All you got to say is Phil Walker Harding.
Yeah, Phil Walker Harding, excellent designer. It's going to be. I think that one's going to be the one that going into the second half of the year is going to be our big seller.
And I'm going to jump in on this one because this one looks cool as crap.
Mhm.
Like you're building your big machine and you're building your combos and all that kind of stuff. Plus, you got the gumball machine to go with it. It just looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that one quite a bit.
Yep. And we also have Kick-Ass the board game coming out. Now, I don't have a ton of information about this one because they haven't really leaked a whole lot yet. But it will be there will be limited amount available for sale at Gen Con for this one. Same with Newton. The next 3 titles, Newton and both Railroad Inks, Blue and Red, I don't have a ton of information about because we are having these airshipped over straight to Gen Con, and I have not seen either of any of these yet in person. But they'll
Railroad
be
Ink rolling, right?
I believe, yeah, it's the paper pencil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like dice roll,
and there's very limited quantities. So if you're even
yeah.
really interested in this, it's going to be like a day 1, day 2, and then we're going to be done. So
Does
on all
the
3.
red have differences than the blue?
I don't even know. I
okay.
have not seen anything. Matter of fact, I just found out these were even going to be at Gen Con like a couple weeks ago. So I don't even know.
The red version has lava and meteor expansion.
Yeah. So there you go.
And the blue one, I'm guessing, has water and rivers and lakes.
Can
That's cool.
Can you hook me
You
up?
can
with
combine
these?
them all.
I can't touch these. We have such limited quantities that we're not allowed to do anything with them. It's going to be first come, first serve.
Well, what good is being your friend?
Yeah, no kidding, right? And then our big release for the show is the Song of Ice and Fire tabletop miniatures game. We'll have the 2-player starter available at the show. That one we should have decent quantities on for that. And then that's coming out later in the month, so it's going to be a kind of slight, early soft launch for that. And then Way of the Panda, which has been out for a little while now. That came out a couple months ago.
Yes,
So,
I have
Way
confirmed
of the Panda was challenging for me.
yeah, it's got a lot going on. It's definitely
to win.
yeah, it's definitely. It looks all cute, and you're thinking, "Oh, cool, Kung Fu Panda style." And it's there's a lot of brain burning going on in that.
There's way more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, way more than that. Not for the faint of heart.
Nope. Yeah, and the action selection is pretty interesting with the way you place your workers, right?
Right, because then you can't go backwards.
You can't go backwards. You can only go down or
forward
right.
or on the same. You get to play an extra worker. It's like I said, you're micromanaging like 3 different areas of the board and can get very, very thinky.
All right. Thank you, Shill.
Do you know anything about Newton?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
No, like I said, Newton in the 2 Railroad games and Kick Ass, I don't have much information on it all. I know enough, but I know anything about Ice and Fire. I know, and then obviously I know Way of the Panda, Gizmos, Dragon Castle, and Council of 4 because I've actually played them. So, all right, moving on.
Very good. Next up, Copper Frog Games has no booth. They're selling it during Learn to Play events.
They're just in the hall.
Good luck finding them.
They're hanging out. They're selling it at the back of a pickup out in the parking lot.
Wow,
So
that's
they-
weird. No booth
So their
or
events,
picture.
they can only sell it at the event.
Oh, okay. So they'll have Learn to Plays in the event hall. You'll just have to see when those are scheduled and then buy them at the event.
Yeah, so this isn't going to sell much because there's
Yeah.
probably not much of it to sell.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Cranio Creations has Jungle Race English Italian First Edition.
I feel like I remember
Cool.
this game. Maybe not.
All right, and then Pink English Italian First Edition.
Pink.
Sounds like a roll and write. Because it says
Dice rolling, paper and pencil set collection. Sold.
All right, we'll let all
I think
try
every
that.
roll and write is just automatically I have to try it.
Mm.
You don't, but okay.
You
I
don't,
want
but you
to try
will.
Maybe I don't have to, but I want to.
There's
All right.
so many, and they're not good.
Have you played Let's Make a Bus Route?
No, but you know which
There you
one
go.
I did like? I like that Metro one that you guys are
I
selling.
had
the
that.
game
Metro
for everything.
X. Yeah, Metro
Yeah,
X.
that one's cool. Can you bring me one to Gen Con?
Maybe.
It's
It's hard.
Well, you're not doing anything else at Gen Con, so
The
why would
problem
you just?
is the store is 45 minutes away. I have to figure out how to make them do stuff.
Oh,
I mean, I
you're
could
not
tell
just
them
like-
to put a couple extra in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Metro X is good. Let's Make a Bus Route is good. Whatever. Keep going.
I have Let's Make a Bus Route. It's pretty cool.
wait,
Next up,
Oh,
Cryptozoic
welcome
Entertainment.
to. We'll get to that.
Yeah, welcome to
What
Cryptozoic
did I miss?
Entertainment.
What did I miss?
Nothing. We're moving on to Cryptozoic.
Wait.
And what?
DC Comics deck building game.
Yeah, DC Deck Building. That's a garbage game with another
Yep.
expansion.
Is it
Uh,
garbage?
Yeah, DC
Yeah.
Deck Building. The theme is it's just horrible. It's a ripoff of Ascension, which is a better game. Let's
Yep.
move on. DC Spyfall. So if you like DC and you like Spyfall, here's another version of Spyfall.
Yeah, I'll pick this one up. I like Spyfall enough, and DC will be more than enough to capture me.
I'd be curious
Epic-
to play this with you guys, actually, because you guys all know this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
I
it might
would
work.
play it with you guys. If
Yeah,
the
I
hot
would too.
games would-
I'm planning on
between
picking a
work.
copy up, so I'll bring it with me to the Hot Games room.
All right. Epic Spell Wars or the Battle Wizards Panic at the Pleasure Palace. What's another version
I'd like to
of
play
the
this with you
game
guys too.
Epic Spell Wars, which is a dick and fart joke game.
Yep.
This
So-
one seems like it's going to be more like dirty.
Yeah, this one looks like it's got a little bit darker.
It's got the
sexual-
crotch krakens, genital harpies, and the gorgonorrhea.
Yep, sounds like that.
Magically transmitted diseases. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. All right.
Next up,
Just people that suffer from STDs are hilarious, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is my number one have to play game right here.
The
Pantone.
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 Well, since you know anything about it, let's hear it.
Yeah. Do you guys know what Pantone is? The color.
It's
the
a color.
swatches?
It's a color
Oh,
wheel.
I know what Pantone is.
So it's very expensive. It's only $30. So and I guess what they do is they give you a bunch of swatches. I'm not sure how many colors are in the game. Looks like I would guess there's probably like 15 to 20 colors. And then you get a clue card and you have to clue that character, or it's like mostly pop culture stuff. So you clue using the colors. And you try to get the other people to guess what you're not drawing. You're putting the color swatches.
Is that like when
down.
you're like you could put like red, yellow, and green, and someone would and in the shape of like Robin, and someone would say that's Robin because it's red, then yellow, then green.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing a video on
So
that.
the clue cards are all pop culture, comic books and movies and all that. Oh, there's a picture of the swatches.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
this does look
as the
interesting.
rounds go on, it gives you more restrictions on how many cards you can use.
Yeah, I kind of dig it because you can kind of create little pictures with the cards by laying them over top of each other to kind of form the color palette of, like, say, Superman or something. It to me, it looked interesting enough. I had this one marked as interesting.
It looks like a wall at Home Depot in the paint department.
You can make this game if you went to Lowe's right now. You could go get a bunch of swatches and make this game.
Paint chips, but you do need the deck of.
Yeah. Well, you could just write a deck of like 50 or 100 pop culture references and then buy a bunch of swatches.
But I think they've purposefully taken these colors, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the colors all have to do with these. But yeah, it looks cool, interesting.
It looks fun.
Next
Plays a lot
up,
of people. Yeah.
Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick. I'm getting this. This is a must-have for me.
Well, how many people are
So
going to
what
buy
is
this?
this game? It's just a big pickle.
People are going to buy it just for that pickle. That's what they're going to do.
The game inside is irrelevant. I want the pickle statue.
So it's just a big pickle statue, and
It
that's
has the
it.
Jaguar too.
Be the hottest game at Gen Con.
They have a Jaguar version of this
There's a Jaguar Mini.
in the pickle.
Yeah.
Definitely must buy. Click.
Lance, you want to make some money? Just draw some faces on your eggs. So
Pickled egg, Rick.
pickle eggs.
All right, next.
Yeah, there's the minis. They're not painted though.
Oh, cool. I'm in. I love Rick and Morty.
All right, next up is Czech Games Edition with Codenames XXL and Pictomania Second Edition. These are not new games, so I don't
No,
care.
I've got both of these already.
Is Codenames XXL? Is that a big version or a
It's just for fat
dirty
people.
version?
It's like
No, it's a big version. It's like 3 times or 4 times the size of regular.
It's just big
not as
cards.
big as the retail version that they had, where the retailers had this ginormous version. It's in between the retail version and then the regular version.
Yeah, it's
And by retail version, I mean the retailer exclusive giant demo version of Codenames.
Pictomania was streamlined in some way, but I don't know what it was.
but it's a drawing
I'm sure
game.
it's written right
Yeah,
here.
it's a drawing
It's out
game.
there. If you liked it, go get the
Didn't
second edition.
Stronghold have this? And
Yeah, they originally had it.
Someone did originally, and then they got
It wasn't Stronghold. Daily Magic Games has crabs.
Oh, those poor people.
We sold this in the store for a long time, but I never got around to playing it.
I played it.
no
I played
idea.
it when I was in Japan.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You got crabs in Japan?
Ha ha.
Hand management set collection.
I bet it was hand management.
Ha ha.
All right, next.
Next up, Horizons.
And an expansion for Horizons.
And an expansion for Horizons. So let's launch it. I tell you what, I don't know anything about this stuff at all, but I do like the way that Daily Magic's been doing stuff lately. They had the little game last year I didn't care for a lot with the 10-minute heist or whatever it's called, or however many minute heist it was, but I don't know anything about Horizons.
It's like a mini Civilization game.
Mm-hmm.
And then next up, they've got the Sailing Towards Osiris. I demoed this at Origins, and this is a cool little game.
And an expansion for it.
Yep. They have a little expansion that I think was included with the Kickstarter version of the game.
Yeah, cool.
So it's a neat little Euro game. I thought it was pretty cool, little Egyptian themed game.
It's like it's under the radar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like out there for everybody, but it's worth taking a look at. I recommend checking it out because it was pretty cool.
Cool.
Days of Wonder has Ticket to
Their
Ride,
one game of the year.
which is out in stores now.
Yep.
So you can just go buy it at Target right now. And Mr. Scott Alden is listed as a playtester in the rule book.
I was a playtester in this game.
Celebrity
It
guest.
is good. It's very good.
What's
It's-
different
it's
between this
crazy
one and regular
fast.
Ticket to Ride? Is it just the map?
It's Turbo Ticket to Ride. It is.
It's basically
10-minute
Ticket to Ride. You have tickets. You have train. Well, in this case, cabs. New York map in New York, but it literally plays in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So you like it?
Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, it's if you don't want to play the full blown Ticket to Ride and you want to do something quick, it's there. It works.
But if you don't like Ticket to Ride, you're not going to like
If you don't like Ticket to Ride, then...
No, I don't like Ticket to Ride. It's just something I can get my daughter to play, and if I can
for
pick this
sure.
up at Target now, then I don't
it
even
doesn't
have to worry
drag you out, right? Like, I mean, if you don't want to play it for an hour,
Oh, no, it's super.
we actually played it like 3 or 4 times.
Cool.
Like, just in back to back.
The only mechanism it adds that's different is their scoring. That if you connect to a penny on the board, you get point for that or whatever.
Okay.
And so you can just go claim some quick one routes just to get a couple of points. That's about it.
Cool.
Deepwater Games is bringing Hanamakoji back, which is a 2013 game.
Yeah, if you don't own this already, you should get it. It's awesome.
And then they have Welcome to pre-order available for pickup at Gen Con. I picked this up at Origins, and this is a fantastic roll and write that's played with cards.
Yeah, it's very good.
Flipping right.
Yeah, it's a flip and write. And I even tried the solo version just for giggles, and the solo version is actually excellent too for that type of game. I recommend this one quite a bit.
Cool.
Yeah, I was looking at this. This looked real interesting.
There's high demand for this one.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of the most in-depth roll and writes I've ever played.
1 to 100 players. Interesting.
Well, you get your own sheet, and you just flip cards, and everybody plays with those cards, right?
So you can play as many people as you could fit around the cards, literally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's really no cap.
You're building a neighborhood.
In there.
And the graphics are really well done. The little board is nicely drawn. And it's probably one of the most challenging I've ever played.
Yeah,
you don't get it, like, a lot of the roll and writes you kind of just know what to do, like, intuitively. This one is definitely got a learning curve, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's a cool little game.
Yeah, you're building you're numbering the houses, you're putting fences up between areas, and then you're also building swimming pools, you're building parks, and you get points for all that stuff. And depending on how much you speculated on your I forget what they call these. They're like not segregated, separated areas on your street.
Yeah, you block off little areas.
Little blocks. What do they call those?
This is a must-have for me.
Oh yeah.
I forget what they call it. But, yeah, totally. Just go pick it up if you.
Yeah, you should just pre-order it actually if you can.
Yeah, if it's
I
not
bet
too late.
it will sell out. It has a high must-haves, interesteds.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really solid. Next up, Devil Pig Games has Warhammer 40K Heroes of Blackreach.
I thought that was
This looks great.
Yellow. I thought Yellow was the one that was selling the Warhammer Heroes of Blackreach.
Devil Pig
Devil Pig is yellow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Are
Okay.
they affiliated in some way?
They're the Heroes of Normandy guys, so it's their system of game, but they've always gone through yellow.
Okay. Okay.
It's
That's why.
basically pretty cool. Like, this is Warhammer without the minis, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always been interested in Heroes of Normandy.
It's a good
Never
game.
played it.
It's a good game.
I was actually more interested in the Cthulhu when they did.
That's also a good game.
I'm sure they're all the same.
I think the thing about this one is you can build squads because you can punch out the board like
It's chip base, isn't it?
what is it?
It's chip base. I mean,
Right, but you can build your squad because they punch out of the holes, right? And then you can fill in with whatever you want. Well, I mean, I think there's some restrictions, but you can like customize your squad.
Oh, that makes I get
You know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying.
It's hard to show you here. I can't because they're all. Not
I know what
punched,
you're talking about.
But I know
Looks
in
cool either way.
Normandy-
I'm interested in this one. I have this one flagged as interested.
Does that have a
Yeah, I mean, it's
custom
got huge
insert
flame
in it?
templates. That's awesome.
Does that have a custom insert in it also?
I don't know. See this guy right here? You can punch that hole out and fill it in with different stuff. Like you have different unit types. You can make customize it. Now there are
That's cool.
rules and restrictions, but it's got customization.
All right.
Oh, it looks great.
Yeah, I definitely am interested in this.
Yeah, me too.
Because I can't make minis anymore.
Why?
Sure you can.
I can't do what you guys do, man. It's so much time.
Yeah, me neither.
Bro, you got me.
Oh, are you you're offering?
Of course.
Are you for hire?
Of course.
Man, I really want stuff painted.
It's called free.
So time consuming. Oh, yeah. You're too nice. All right, Durr.
Next up, Devious Weasel Game, friend of the show, Jim.
Where's
Felly.
Jim? He's not here.
So Dur, the Lesser Houses. So Jim.
Social deduction game.
It's actually not a social deduction game. It's take that bluffing card game, hand management. I don't want to pick on Jim when Jim's not here.
Oh, that's even
It's
more
not
fun.
much fun. So, but Jim's a good guy. Jim makes interesting games that you need to check out.
They're definitely different.
Yes, Jim makes games for Jim, and he has people that follow him and like his games. So they are not necessarily your run-of-the-mill thing. So they're always unique. David Yoki, Catalyst.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't know anything about it.
Got nice art.
And then another episode in their Deckscape games, which are little escape room card games, I believe.
Yeah, they're good.
So
I like the ones I've played.
next up is Eggertspiele with Coimbra, which I picked up at Origins. That's an interesting little game that has super cool little castles to put your dice in.
That's a game that I was like, I really want this. I want to play this. I really want, and I'm like, why would I'll play it like twice and then I'll never want to play it again.
And I'll be honest, it's not groundbreaking. It's not the best game in the world, but it's cool and I like it. But it's got really cool presentation.
I think the art is really cool, but when I look at the game set up on a table, I'm like, this looks like every Euro game.
It looks like
this
every
looks like-
dice drafting game, right? But I like the way the different colors have different purposes, and you put them in your little colored castles, and that's pretty neat. It's a component thing for me more than anything.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, oh, it has this component. But like, does that make the game better? I don't know.
It's the reason I bought the game.
I brought on the cruise, did not get a chance to play it. I was so
Plan
close
B
to playing it.
Isn't Plan B Games bringing that to North America?
Yeah, Plan B owns Eggertspiele.
It's out.
So, yes.
Yeah, this game is out. It was available at Origins.
Yeah, they had limited copies.
got high interest.
Yeah,
Very
they were
high.
demoing it a lot at Dice Tower Con and was getting a ton of buzz there.
Yeah. Plan B owns Eggertspiele now, so it's Plan B's. Next up is Electric Games LLC with Victory and Glory Napoleon.
100 Bones. Did for the deluxe version.
Who do I give it to?
This is a card-driven game.
Yeah, I'm really
You into
interested in
this?
this.
Cool.
I'm really curious about the one player
Oh, that's cool.
and the deluxe Kickstarter version. 100 Bones, no
What is
problem.
the
There
rare?
you go.
Oh, Napoleon.
Where do I
always
insert
really
my
fun
cash?
attracted games, but in the end, when I actually play them, I'm overwhelmed.
Mm.
I guess with time and practice, you get used to it.
It's like anything else.
Yeah.
It says it's easy to learn but challenging to master. It's like Othello.
Very nice.
I like unique event cards. 150 unique event cards.
Next up is Elf Creek Games with End of the Trail Standard Edition, an auction bidding, hand management, bluffing game set in the American West. That's all I know.
Multi-use card game with a little bit of a poker thing. It's fine. It's good.
It's fine.
It's really beautiful.
From Joe Wiggins. Moving on. Escape Velocity Games.
Well, I don't know
Homes
anything about
and
it.
Moriarty.
I don't know anything about Holmes and Moriarty except the name sounds good. I like all
Looks like a two-player
Sherlock
game.
Holmes games.
Moriarty! Oh, sorry.
And the table toppers are it's got the names of the table toppers.
Yeah. It's the Holmes.
It's a 2-2 player game.
Yes.
Two-
Fireside Games has Grackles, which has some birds.
like the
on it.
birds.
Yeah, it's birds on the cover. It's
Okay.
a tile placement abstract game about area control, area influence. I don't know.
Trying to keep
So
birds
you're
from
placing your
birds.
birds.
Next up is Remnants.
I want to talk about this one.
I want to say this. I want to get this just because it's such a huge departure from what Fireside normally makes, and that's why I'm excited about it.
Remnants.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was designed by Ben Rossett, who works for Panda. It was not made by Panda, though. But I love that he sold this game. This is such a classic thing of he sold it to a designer, and the theme when he sold it was families going camping in a park. And now it's a post-apocalyptic war game. So I think that's funny.
Family's going to a park.
Seems like a natural progression.
Yeah.
It's a
They're
deck
like,
builder.
hey, we're going to change the theme to this. All right.
It's real time.
I have no idea. I don't know anything about
It
it.
says deck. Well, it says deck building, dice rolling, hand management, and real time and science fiction.
I was actually interested in this until that explanation.
Oh,
Moriarty.
I'm sure the game is great. It's the designer of Brewcrafters.
from
Brewcrafters is one of the
Baskets.
best games.
From picnic baskets to grenades. Nice.
Next.
Okay.
Next.
Next.
We're just like
Next.
next.
Floodgate
Right.
Games has
We're not even a third of the way through yet. We got to
a
keep
full
rolling.
version of episode 11. So this is a Johnny Gilmore game.
The News at 11 is fantastic party game.
Yeah.
If you like quick little party games, making people say funny things, it's a lot of fun. Pick it up.
Yes. And we'll move on. And then the 5 to 6 player expansion for Sagrada. So if you like Sagrada, go get you some more Sagrada.
Okay.
Forbidden Games has Railroad Rivals.
This is it's like my first ever stock game. That's the best way I can put it. You lay out tiles that will slowly build up connections of railroads to different cities. You'll be able to deliver goods to make money. You'll use other people's railroads and have to pay them money to do it. It's like super beginner 18xx. And if you are an 18xx person and you just want to kind of give somebody like literally dipping their pinky toe into the world of 18xx, and so you'll have at least a little bit of that feel and you can play it. I mean, it's made by Glenn Drover, who made a lot of those types of games, and Glenn's a super cool guy, and artwork's great. The tiles are great. Yeah, good stuff.
Is this the ex-Disney artist?
Yes, that's right. And like the artist is used to work for Disney.
Yeah, can I see it?
Did they get fired because they put the penis in the
Little Mermaid.
They
Whoa!
put
Mermaid
the
in the
lime in the
box cover,
coconut
Little
or something, as it were.
Totally
On the
different thing to put
cover
it.
of the movie. Be specific with that.
All right. Next.
Formal Ferret Games has 2 expansions for the networks, which is an excellent little game.
I'm getting both of those, and I still haven't played the networks yet, but I hear it's great.
I know. I need to
Oh,
feel
my
guilty.
God, his new game looks so good. High Rise, have you seen him playtesting it?
No.
It looks so good. But anyways,
Okay.
Next up, Fowers Games with Hardback, which just came out in app form, FYI, which will ruin me ever playing the physical, which is kind of an advanced version of paperback. If you've played that little deck builder, it's a word building deck building game. So
cool.
it's actually a very good little game, which has a MSRP of $37.
I was just gonna say 42.82, 40.82, 30. Where are they
Does it
getting
really
these
bring all the
MSRPs from?
coins to Gen Con?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's-
who wants to get change back at Gen Con? Why would you price this like that? It makes no sense.
Next up, he's got Now Boarding, and then the 3rd edition of Walkstar.
I want to go give him $42.82.
Yeah.
That'll probably
Now boarding.
piss him off just as much. In fact, I want to pay. I want to buy all 3 of these games in pennies. That's what I want to do.
Drachma.
Nickels.
Yep. Foxmine game has the potion.
The potion. Moriarty.
That's all it says. The potion.
Casper Lapp is the designer of Magic.
Exactly.
Even the dog likes it.
Yeah, the
Fun
dog gave us
Whiz.
seal of approval.
Yeah, Magic Maze.
Fun
designer.
Whiz Sports.
Oh,
Dice.
Magic Maze! I just want to. Oh, I can't even stand to look at that game. Drives me
Next.
nuts. FunWiz has sports dice.
Football.
edition.
I'm getting it. It's football. I don't
Football
care if it
dice.
sucks or not.
Football.
Sports ball, the dice edition.
Just love that reasoning.
Oh my god!
This is probably gonna suck, but it's football.
When I read this,
Who's doing the football game? What company?
Fun with.
Fun with
Fun Whiz.
Fun with.
Sounds like something I should be putting on crackers. I'm just gonna say.
All right, next.
Next.
When I first read this title, I read it as "Fuck yeah, diamonds." I think that would have been more like a better title.
So
LLC has fuck yeah diamonds.
American edition.
No, I can I say something? There was a Kickstarter that I actually for 20-sided dice, and it just ended a little bit ago. But on the 20, it said yeah, and on the 1, it said fuck. So it was fuck yeah D20s. Anyway, go ahead.
It's doing pretty well on Kickstarter.
No, it ended there too. They got like $80,000 or $90,000.
What? 90,000.
Next
It
up
was something ridiculous.
But this is
Oh.
fuck yeah, diamonds.
All right.
Fuck yeah, diamonds.
Fuck yeah, diamonds.
That should so be the name, though.
Fuck yeah,
Next up.
diamonds is
But
a
it's not-
family-friendly game of tile moving and deck.
But that would just make such a great. People would buy it just for that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they would. I guarantee it'd be a sellout if it was named Fuck Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Galen Games with a big pile of tiny epic bullshit.
Next.
Wow.
So if you like
Wow.
tiny, you like epic, and you like games, go buy us some Scott Holmes design goodies. The newest one is there's 2 expansions for existings, followed by Tiny Epic Zombie. Sorry,
Oh, I like
fell asleep.
Defenders. That's my favorite.
Which
Oh, I
one's your
hated
favorite?
Defenders.
Tiny Epic Defenders.
Oh, I hated it.
Really?
Yeah. I sat down, played it once, and threw it in the giveaway pile.
Zombies is the new one, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zombies is the new one.
And then they should be probably launching another one soon.
Yeah,
I'm
Tiny
sure.
Epic. I don't know. Vikings is next, I'm sure.
Is it Viking?
I don't know. I'm making shit up. I'm rolling the dice of what to put Tiny and Epic in front of. It's either that or Cthulhu. I don't
Well,
know.
they're doing the A to Z, right? That's their thing. They're going to do an A through. There's going to be 26 games, 1 for every letter of the alphabet.
Oh, is
So
that part of
Tiny
the
Epic.
plan?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. So Tiny Epic Xylophones, one day or another, is coming.
Tiny Epic X-rays. Games
Tiny
adults
Epic.
play. Where the hell's Forrest when we have the Toss Salad game showing up?
Oh yeah. This
Oh,
this
my.
company is Forrest category right here.
Yeah,
Shit
this is
happens.
completely Forrest Bauer
Toss salad.
presents.
Roman helmet.
Mm.
So they've got a bunch of adult games, Friend or Foe, Shit Happens, Toss Salad, and True Colors. So if you like adult party
True
games,
Colors
go
is
look
awful.
at that. Yeah, everything
Adult
about it looks
games,
horrible.
just
That's the original
stupid.
True Colors. I will never play that.
Yeah, there's nothing that sounds good here.
All right, going on.
So I'm done crapping on this. We move to Games Workshop with Warhammer 40K Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40K Kill Team. Okay, go ahead, Robin Lance.
What do you guys know about this?
I was going to let Lance drive this one, but
Well, no, yeah, go ahead, Rob, and I'll chime in.
There's no picture for Age of Sigmar 2nd edition.
I know that's kind of weird.
What?
that is kind of weird. But the 2nd edition is an improvement. I believe that the way they did this, they took fantasy and they're trying to bring and shorten the game so you get those people with the short attention spans to play this game.
The big thing I think
So it's like Warhammer for dummies.
No.
They're trying to make it more friendly.
Is it skirmish?
It's still no. Well, you can play skirmish. I mean, they
It's
definitely
not as
have,
much Math Hammer as it used to be, though.
Yeah, they've
Okay.
reduced the math hammer of it, but what they've really done is like simplified, in my opinion. They've simplified the spell casting a lot. Like basically, they made a lot of armies that you normally wouldn't even think about taking, like viable armies now, because a lot of things had like weird summoning rules, and they just redid like tons of summoning rules, like as far as bringing units into the battle. And the other big thing was they really finally went through and fixed tons of, because everything is points, right? Okay, we're gonna play 1,000-point battle. They really, with a fine-tooth comb, went and fixed a ton of the broken point total, like, because like it was a lot of Age of Sigmar tournaments were ending up with the same, like the top 4 armies were all the same, because there was no reason not to take anything that wasn't those top 4 armies, and so they went and they busted up a lot of that, which was good.
So it's more just pared down and streamlined than it is like dummified.
Balance. And making it so, a 16-year-old kid can take $50 and put something on the field.
Yeah, easily. And what's weird is and ranged combat. They changed it so before it seems like a silly rule, but it was real. It was like before, if you had a unit that had a ranged attack, like because ranged attack and normal attacks happen in 2 different phases, and ranged attacks. If you were in combat with somebody, like somebody would have a group of like 40 skinks, like say these little tiny lizard men that have these bows or blow darts, and so it was just like this big tar pit of a unit that could just sit in the middle, and you could send like things to go attack them, but they had so many things it was tough to get through them, and in the meantime people would be shooting out of that area and also fighting hand to hand. And so you couldn't stop this, like these giant units from just consuming like objectives and not being able to change them. But now they change it so if a unit is involved in combat with another unit, they can still shoot, but they can only shoot the thing that they're fighting. And they also changed the rules that like if you have like your general and if like a ranged unit targets them, which they can do, and they hit them, there's a rule. It's called "Look Out, Sir." And they can actually push the damage out to units that are around them. So no longer are you having things like where like your general is just being picked off because people have set up. Shut up. Fine. You know what? For those of you who don't play Warhammer, I get it. I get not getting into it, and I totally understand because it has kind of consumed my gaming life. But it is so much fun. I mean, it is a way of life.
I went through my life in the 90s with it,
and it is so much fun. But anyway, go ahead.
For those of you that want more information, check the Lance and Rob show coming soon to a YouTube channel by you.
Well, we should do that. Let's make that happen.
Why not? Why not?
Why not? Indeed, yes. Anyway, go ahead.
Next.
Okay. What do we got?
Game Right. Game Right has Cahoots English first
The second
edition.
game called Cahoots.
Because Cahoots, there's a game from
Mayday.
Mayday, yeah, called Cahoots.
Yeah, it's weird.
Huh? Weird.
Next.
Weird, whatever. Next, Forbidden Sky. This will probably sell like
This is
crazy.
going to be a day one sellout.
That's going to be a
There's
monster.
over 1,000 people interested in this game.
Yeah. If you want this one, you better get it in the first 20 minutes.
What is
Or wait a month and
Or
pick it
wait
up
a
at
month
your-
and buy it
or
at
wait a
retail.
month.
Yep.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
yep, that'll be huge.
Doesn't
Next up, Sneaky Cards 2. Pay it forward.
I want Sneaky Cards 1 before I play Sneaky Cards 2.
Yeah.
I agree.
Never played Sneaky Cards 1.
Next
Why
up,
is
Actually sounds fun.
Skirmish.
about Forbidden Sky?
What's that?
I'm just wondering why people care about Forbidden Sky. Did I miss
Because the
it?
first two went over really, really well and very popular, and then there hasn't been.
Oh, this is the Forbidden series. Okay, my bad.
Yeah. So just highly
Desert
anticipated.
Island.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
got it. Is it going to come
All
in a god awful tin?
Probably.
I hate
Tins
games
are
in
horrible.
tins. I'm just gonna say
Tins
that
are the
right now.
devil.
All right. Trash Pandas.
Trash pandas.
Ooh.
Next.
Next.
I'm keeping us moving along.
Gigamic has Chaosmos.
I want to play Trash Pandas.
Why do you
You
want
would.
to play Trash Pandas?
It's a dice rolling game. Press
It
your
is
luck.
dice rolling.
But Scott, it isn't a word game.
It's not a
I like
rolling
dice games too.
Moving
Next.
on.
Next, Chaosmos from Gigamic. Anybody know anything? I don't.
I don't know
It's
this
a
one.
card drafting, pattern building, action, dexterity puzzle game. Next.
Sweet.
Chris Cross gonna make you wanna.
Jump.
Oh God.
Chris,
Oh my
what
God,
up, Chris?
Ross. What up, Chris?
Warm it up, Chris. I'm about to warm it up, Chris. That's what I was born to
Shirt
do.
backwards.
Yeah, there you see. Rob knows. Rob's my boy. Didn't one of them get shot? One of them's
Yes.
dead, right? One of them's
Yes.
dead.
What?
Rest in peace.
Oh my God.
Like Chris got shot.
This is a roll and write, guys. Get and play it. It's Reiner Knizia rolling right.
Moving on.
Oh, Catchcar is finally redone.
It's good. I like this.
Is it
game.
good?
Yeah.
So I did one of
It's
those
fine.
Arts Cow things, where you can print the game. I bought the game, but I did Arts Cow
It's
thing to print it.
fine.
And but I never played it.
It's good. I like
What
it.
kind of
I
game?
mean, it's a deck builder, but it has like a order fulfillment part to it, and you have like 3 different decks you're building. Kind of. It's cool.
Next.
Oh, this is my number 2.
Really?
Reiner Knizia.
Keith, we can't hear you.
Keith has been silenced.
Oh, I hit my mute and forgot to turn it back on.
All right, Keith.
It's a Knizia game.
It's
So
a sister game because Tiger's
Yep.
afraid.
Next.
Yeah, I just.
no,
I mean,
Aldi wants to talk about this.
I don't know. I really have been kind of not paying attention to it, but I want to play it.
But
I do have an update though.
How
Chris
am I
Cross was not shot. He overdosed.
OD'd. Yep.
Oh, okay.
yeah, well, thank you for the update.
Thank you for that.
I don't know how he can do it with his shirt backwards. How could he get his hands up to his mouth?
Oh, jeez. Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're not nice people.
All right. Kashgar.
Cash
Yellow
card.
and Yahtzee.
As you
Yellow
move
and
on.
Yahtzee, yes. Yellow and Yahtzee. Next up, Great Northern Games, Lucky's Misadventures.
With misadventures,
Oh,
it doesn't sound that lucky.
I remember
Playmat
this
and
game.
bonus coins are also available for purchase.
I remember seeing this again. The artwork was fantastic.
I don't know anything about it, but we're hitting that point where we're being dicks. So we'll keep moving. We're bigger dicks than normal. How's that?
Yep.
Greenbrier Games, Barbarian Battlegrounds, English First Edition.
Okay. Next.
Next. All right.
Wait,
Ray Fox
can we just-
Games has a bunch of stuff.
Okay. To be nice, from now on, not just next, let's at least say one comment about the game. It doesn't have to be like something great, but just a comment.
Okay.
Okay, so I have
Next.
something about Gray Fox. So I have something about Gray Fox though. Aren't you only supposed to list the games that are like new releases? Like what?
2016, 2017, 2017. Yeah, they're not,
These-
nothing
yeah,
is new.
Here-
Like,
here's
these
all
weren't
the shit we've
available
been
though in
selling,
English.
so.
These weren't available in English.
Oh, so
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just like all these games have been available for sale from that other company forever. Board and Dice. I don't.
Nope.
whatever.
True.
Yeah, and I don't think most of us care.
Does that qualify
Uh,
as saying
yeah.
something for each
Yep.
of these games so we can
So
just
we
skip
said
it?
something we can move
Yep.
on.
Greenland Games.
you
Greenland
guys,
Games,
you
an
guys might be
expansion for
following the
Quartermaster
letter
General.
of the law, but not the spirit.
Whatever. We're moving on. Haba. Haba has Dragon's Breath, the Kinderspiel des Jahres winner.
Ooh.
It You have like little shower rings and you try to make gems fall out and do stuff. If you've got little kids, it's a good little kids game.
Habba's always great for little kid games.
And also the Hear Me's, which is another little Habba little kids game. So. What the heck is that?
All right. I'm not saying next, but we are going to move on.
We'll move on to Heidelbar games with Tags, English First Edition, which is some type of trivia game.
Well, I mean, are they like toe tags that you're going to put on like dead bodies? Or something?
I don't know. Let's find out. Everything can be labeled, categorized, or given a tag. Blah, blah, blah.
Can you guess the name? John?
It's trivia in real time. I'm guessing this is like Price is Right type game.
You have 15 seconds to come up with an answer. With a
that counts as one thing.
Helvetic.
Helvetic.
That one too. Roadkill.
Hey, 4 people must have. Okay, so roadkill. I'm guessing you're picking up dead bodies off dead animals off the road. That's my guess.
Team up and top spin.
How do you take that with dead animals?
So we moved on to Helvetic with roadkill. That's how.
Team up, logistics company.
Ooh.
Yeah, whatever.
No, like if this is a weird little quick logistics game, that sounds cool. I'm gonna go check this one out. I'm gonna put this on my interested list.
Well, it's gotta let people that are saying must have.
Your job, the game.
Your job, the game.
All right. Top spin.
I watched Dice Fishing get played. It's very odd. I need to play it though.
Top spin is played in a box with high quality spinning top and small balls. Just off that description alone, I want to play this.
Yeah. And small balls. You should get used to that, right, Pete?
Yeah.
Yep,
I've
you'd be the champion.
I've seen you around.
Wait a minute.
Next up, Homo sapiens Lab has Dice Fishing Roll and Catch.
Ooh.
I've heard tons of good things about this. I have no idea. I want to play it.
But we have to play it.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Michael Fox,
tons because
Michael Fox, friend of the show, said this is one of his must-have games. He said he said I'm going to book my butt over to this thing and buy it first thing in the morning, and then he's like, that's like one of his few must-have games from the convention.
I must have missed something in this game then, because the way I read it would look very, very simple, basic game. But
I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Maybe it is.
Oh, it's dice, Scott. You like dice games.
I do, but I didn't quite understand this one. So you get a fish card that has like a certain target where you have to hit like a number, like 15 plus or 12 on the nose, and then you have all these dice and you bid what you think to roll to hit that number, and the person who bids the fewest dice rolls and tries to make it.
Tries to pull the fish in. Actually, that's kind of interesting.
Game. And then if they miss, then the next highest bid goes, I think.
Okay, I'm interested.
Next up, Galaxy Wrestling Federation.
Ooh.
Sign me up.
I'll be playing you at Gen Con, brother.
I will.
Art on this one looks really good.
Okay. 1 minute aside, and I just want to say this to Rob. How many times do we have to see Roman versus Brock? I'm so tired of that.
God.
Wait, it would distract me.
I'm done with Raw.
I'm done.
There's belts. There's belts, guys.
Oh!
This little game has belts in it.
Ooh.
It's pretty good, actually.
Yes. This looks like a card throwing it on the table type game. Is that what we're doing?
No.
I like that little bear.
I don't think the bear comes with it.
I want the bear. The bear looking all angry.
Oh, look at
that. Only 2 players? Oh, it's 2 to 5. We can play.
Yep, I'll play it. I don't know if I'd put it on my list, but I'll definitely play it.
I'm playing it.
I like wrestling games.
Hell yeah.
That's interesting.
All right, yellow.
Next up, yellow. Yellow. We have a new monster from King of Tokyo, King of New York in Anubis.
Don't care.
We have Legend of the Terry Tree that blossoms every 10 years.
Ugh.
That's
Played that
a
one.
weird name.
Then we have
playing time.
Raids from Matthew Dunstan and Brett Gilbert.
I've
And it's
heard a
nautical.
couple of really good things about Raids. It's also vaguely Viking, so I might have to check that out.
All right. Moving on to IBC with Don't Mess with Cthulhu Deluxe, which is a crappier themed version of Time Bomb.
It doesn't look deluxe either.
No,
I don't even know what's
I've been told to
on.
play this game. Have you guys played it?
It's
I
Time
actually
Bomb,
have,
right?
I have a copy and I played it, and it is actually pretty good. It's just it's so quick. I mean, the game is like bam, bam, bam. It's over.
Have you played Time Bomb?
No, I never played it.
It's a little quick social deduction game. It's a really fun
Kanban
little-
is not a quick social game. What are you talking about?
I said Time Bomb. Which
Kanban?
No. Time Bomb.
Kanban?
No. Not what I said. Anyway, it is a good little social
Kanban?
deduction.
Okay. I want to play it.
Then we have Exodus Paris Nouveau.
Partnership game.
And that's all I know. Yeah, I don't care.
Martin Wallace designed.
Well, let's have that discussion for 10 more minutes.
I'm dropping it.
All right, Japanime Games has Cartooner, the Fast and Furious game of drawing comics.
My daughter is going to pick this up. She's excited. She draws comics, so
All
I'll
right.
play that with her.
Sounds
You
good.
draw frames of comics.
Next up, Kamigami Battles, 2 different versions. Next, Starlight Stage.
Well, I mean, it's got
It
the
looks
orange
nice.
that you expected it to have.
Oh,
I guess.
oh, I just saw the expansion. Never mind. Surprise.
Yes, Starlight Stage has a bunch of little partially dressed girls with. There's one thumb up for this
Whoa!
game.
What do you mean from Japanime Games? No
Yeah, I
way.
know.
No.
And followed by another Tonto Quarry game. So let's just move on to Jellybean Games, where we've got Ninjutsu.
Aww.
Take that.
Bluffing.
Flipping
Bluffing
card game, children's game. Handman.
Five.
Take that.
5 minutes.
for $15.
That's like
You'd be hard pressed to be able to pay that little.
$3 a minute.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay,
somebody's got his maths on.
I found another game I'm interested in.
What's that?
Show and Tile.
All right, tell us why you're interested in
Competitive
Show and
tank
Tile. And then we'll make fun of you
It's
for it.
competitive tangrams.
Oh, this looks like those things I used to play with in elementary school.
Tangrams.
Candy.
Little triangles and things, squares.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 2 sets of tangrams, I guess. And you
Cool.
try to I guess it's like 2 teams going at each other, and whoever tries to you try to guess the word that they're trying to tangram.
Candygram.
An
Yeah.
expansion for a game
There you
I've never heard of.
So, yep, Treasure Hunters. If you like Treasure Hunters, there's an expansion for it. Moving on to Junk Spirit Games with Tyler Sigmund's Crows. Who's Tyler Sigmund? And why do I care about his
Is this
crows?
a re-release?
It doesn't say it is.
I think he's Joe Sigmund's kid.
It seems legit.
Sure.
Just work in the room. Work in the room.
Tile placement strategy games. Keymaster Games with Caper.
It's a great game. It's really good.
Yeah. Caper. Caper's a good game.
Okay. Only 2-player?
Yeah.
2 to 4.
It's 2-player.
Yeah.
It's
two-player.
2-player.
Good point.
Next up, Space Park. Wonderful.
I have it. Keymaster makes good fillers. That's what they do. And they've all been good so far.
All right. Next, we have Kids Table BG with Haunt the House.
This is Josh and Helena Capel.
Yep, good game.
Is it good? Because I'm a sucker for haunted house games.
Yeah,
Haunted House game.
it'll when your granddaughter gets a little older, you'll play with her then.
There you go.
Next up, Cosmos with Drop It, which is a fantastic game. I love this game.
Yep. It's very good.
It is dropping little shaped pieces to try to score your little points. It is a super fast tactile dexterity filler game. So, yeah.
I feel like this game
recommend
should have
it.
been made a long time ago.
Yeah, I can't believe it hasn't
It's
already been
surprisingly
made.
weirdly not.
Next, 2 more games in the Exit the Game series.
Insta-buy.
Now listen, I'm probably maybe one of 2 people that haven't played any of these. Are these really good games?
Oh yeah, yeah, they're really good.
I
I've enjoyed all of them.
I have time stories. I don't need these.
Nope,
Okay.
not even close to Time Stories. You should play.
Yeah,
them.
time stories is
They're
better.
15
I'm sure.
bucks. Buy one.
I have time stores. I love time stores.
I just do. Time
Yeah,
stories
but
is great.
it's not. These are escape rooms
Okay.
in a box, and you.
So are they
They're
escape
very-
rooms then?
They're way more clever than you'd think.
They are. I was in your world, trust me on this one, and I played some and I was like, this is actually pretty damn cool.
See, I'm gonna have to try this.
You should try one. Try one.
You know what? These might
it
be
a one
really
shot?
good to play with my wife
They
at
are
night.
They are
And they're
one shot and
destructible.
they are destructive. So
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
you-
so
Now, if that bothers you, you could go to the unlock.
Oh, I don't care.
You
card
can't
game.
pass them on.
No.
no, you can't pass these on.
No,
I would
no.
play. I would recommend you go with the Unlock series first if you
Okay.
haven't tried any of these little box escape room games, because at least that way you feel like if you don't enjoy it, you can pass it on to someone. Whereas
Okay.
these, you'll destroy it when you play it.
Here's the thing. I say get
It's
both
$15. Yeah.
because by
They're
destroying it, it also creates kind of a fun. There's dimensionality and like physicality in these games that you don't get in the card game.
Mhm.
Right.
And I had a bad experience with one of the ones I played at the Exit, which kind of turned me off, just because some artwork was too similar that made
Yeah,
us
you
waste
have
too much
to
of
really get
time.
your glasses out to look at the artwork.
So, and the fact that there are gloss cards and you need to draw on them at some point, and if you're using a pencil, you can't draw on it.
All
So
right.
it frustrated me. But,
Yeah, you should play them. You should play them.
hey, Pete,
No, definitely. I'll check it. Listen,
saw-
if I'm going to drop $100 for a Napoleonic game, I'm
Yeah,
going
you
to
could
drop
do it.
$30 for 2 games here.
all right, moving on. We've got Lost Cities Rivals.
The new version
Cool.
of Lost Cities.
So, a new version of Lost Cities.
This is a bidding game, though.
Yeah.
Turned it into a bidding game. Eric did an
Wow.
overview of it. It's interesting.
Next up, Mercado. $50 game from Cosmos.
This is Rudiger Dorn.
Oh, he
This
makes-
is a push your luck game.
Hmm.
Eric did an overview of that too.
Okay. Check that out. A family version of Word Slam. And I love
This
Word
one-
Slam. It's a good time. So
This is good. This is interesting because it has like different. It has dual cards that have different words on the top and the bottom.
yeah.
Like one will say hot, one will say cold. Like when you flip it over.
Seems like it'd be easier to find stuff that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll check it
I
out.
just, need
like
new,
Word
I
Slam.
just need new clues. Words, you know.
Yep.
I
Next up,
feel like I played every word in this game.
yeah. Next up is Lay Waste Games with Dragoon and a bunch of expansions for
Fourth
Dragoon.
edition.
You know something? The last couple of Gen Cons I've gone by, and I've seen this game, and every time I looked at it, and I never have a problem dropping money. That's one thing I don't care about. But I've seen this, and I go, well, how much is it? Because I'm curious and want to do it for the channel. And the guy goes, $100. And I
Yeah.
look at it and I go, how is that $100?
It has metal.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
This version has
Bladed.
plastic, which cuts
But
the price down to
even the
$50.
metal didn't make it look like it was worth $100. So now you're
Thick
gonna
cloth
get-
metal. I mean, custom
Yeah.
metal is really expensive. Like really expensive.
I don't
Dragoons
doubt
were
it,
made of
but the
metal, those
game
other pieces
didn't
made
look
metal.
So
like
this
the
was the
metal
game.
added so much to it.
I backed this on Kickstarter, and this was the game that was like literally in production hell for ever. It was the constant delays, and then they actually at one point like had some copies at Gen Con last year shipped to Gen Con and sold, even though the Kickstarter people were waiting, and they basically said they had to do it to make money, basically to keep the company going.
I had missed the Kickstarter, so I bought one. But
Did you like it?
I
Okay.
I can't.
Well,
I
there you go.
can't fit it in. It's like one of those things that like never rises to the top.
It's just one of those games you look at and you go, I'll just keep going. Maybe I'll come back to it.
Well, now they have
It
a
has a
$50
weird
version.
big following. Like I've actually seen people playing this on the floor.
Really?
Yeah, at Gen Con. I was like, what? Why that game?
Well, maybe it's the $50 version is worth it to give it a whirl.
Yeah, maybe. I have played the Dragoon Heads Will Roll. So these little metal skulls. I guess the metal skulls are in the Dragoon game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And you roll them, and then you flick them, and you have to flick them through. Like it makes like a wicket. Like when you roll it, it'll create like a wicket.
Like
and
an
you have to
Ewok?
flick wicket.
I think you
Yeah.
mean
Wicket?
okay.
I'm kidding.
No, a sticky
God.
wicket.
Nobody
And then you
thinks I'm
flick
funny
it, you
anymore.
flick your skull through, and if it goes through, you get a point or 2 points. There's a couple different like,
More?
but it's a roll. They're little metal skulls, which are cool. That's the coolest part. The pieces.
All right, next up.
I take your funny, Lance. They just mute me.
You know what? Thank you, my Warhammer friend.
There you go. We're brothers at arms.
Here we go. It's midnight. I'm keeping rolling. We got Human Era, which is a social deduction game.
It's very pink.
Yes, it's very pink on the box. So
That's one
Very
line.
pink.
Next.
Leader
It
Games
has
has, and this one's got a lot of buzz.
Best game of the year. I'm calling it. Best game of the year.
Really?
Okay,
Wow.
so
I played
okay.
this 5 times at Dice Tower Con.
Oh well, then it must be good if you play it 5 times.
Yeah. How many games have you played 5 times this year?
Poker.
Okay. And poker's a great game,
I
isn't
played
it?
Gloomhaven 5 times.
Poker is the best game ever.
All right, but no, this
This
game
has
is
awesome art.
this game is amazing. It's amazing. It really is.
Once again, Patrick is a Minnesota native, and I know him pretty well. But this is one of those things where basically, like, he promised, or he tried not to promise, but basically his goal was to get everybody's copies in their hands before he got to Gen Con, and it's not going to happen. And Kickstarter backers are very unforgiving on things like this.
Yeah.
But
You guys did the same sort of thing back in the day. I recall.
well, I was involved in the company.
No, you weren't. No, your company.
So, yeah. So I'm not going to pass judgment on here, but I mean, I think there should just be a rule. Like if you have a game and it's going to come close to Gen Con, or if you think you're even going to get even near that, you never say you'll have your games before we sell it, because you just can't do that. And it's just, and people are, well, I should say this. The vast majority of people are like, hey, no big deal. I'm going to go to Gen Con. I'm going to see people playing the game. When I come home, it's going to be waiting for me. No big deal. But there is that lovely few that
So here's the thing.
you just came over and shit in their mouth.
I wanted Root last weekend to play, and I didn't have it. And now I'm not going to, obviously. There's definitely some sorrow there. Like, I'm not going to go online and be like, I need my game, like pound my keyboard.
I like your
Send me my
typing
game
with
now.
2 fingers. So mad, yeah.
But it's definitely disappointing.
Well, and the thing is that
Well, here's something, Lance. In the chat here, they say they asked the backers if they could sell, and many of them said yes.
Yeah. Hey, but
I would not. Here's the thing: that Gen Con hot game like this, which I imagine they're going to sell out instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is there? 700, 800 people interested.
well,
That's half their year. That's a year for a small company.
Here's the weird thing about this. And I know we're backing ourselves up a little bit on the time, but the weird thing about this is that, like, people have offered to drive to the warehouse to get their copy, and he's just saying, "No, you can't come here and get your copy."
That's too hard to deal with.
It's so hard to do that.
No, I agree. It's like he has a situation where people want their thing, right? So bad. It's like, give me Gen Con pickup, give me this, and it's not gonna happen. And it's just
the Kickstarter puts you emotionally tied into the game because you're backing it and you're making it happen, and then not to get it before other people who had nothing to do with the game just randomly got in line early and got the game, right?
Yeah, and
they had no emotional investment. It's legit.
But on the other hand, the Kickstarter backers usually are getting extra stuff that these people that are buying the retail version aren't going to get. And you have to always factor that in too.
Probably.
I mean, I don't know the stretch goals on this game. Maybe they weren't any, but 90% of them are getting at least 20% more game than those others because of extras and stretch goals that the other ones won't. So I don't necessarily.
I think all the stretch goals just added to the game. I don't think there's anything exclusive.
There is nothing exclusive.
Okay, that argument is moot.
All right. So why is this game awesome?
Joe, everybody's asking what makes this game great.
So this is a war game. This is very asymmetrical factions, but it's just done in a very unique way. Every faction is playing their own unique style of game. So when I'm playing the birds and you're playing the Woodland Alliance and Lance is playing the cats, what we do on our turns, though similar flow, is completely different how we win the game. And it's just finding out that balance. And I played 5 times. I played all 4 factions in the base game once, then I played another faction another time. And every time I played, it was just like very unique, but also seeing like, oh, now that I played these guys, I know how to stop them if I'm playing this other faction. So just for that, I would say this is like, I know Vast had that, but this is a very different game than Vast because this is more of a war game. This is a very aggressive in-your-face game, but it's very, very well done, and I think most people are going to enjoy playing it.
See, now you made me want to get it.
It is a war game, and it's a heavy one too. It's a lot to wrap your mind around. It's
Does every person need to read the rules for their faction?
There's a 2-turn walkthrough where you can just take this one sheet of paper and just go, everyone do this on turn 1, everyone do this on turn 2, and that will get you playing. So I did that the first 2 times I played at Dice Tower Con, and the entire table was like, okay, I know what I'm sort of doing now, right? Now I just have to figure out how to make a strategy out of it. So that really did help things a lot.
Sadly, last weekend.
It's great.
Let me go back just so people don't. I think you get the expansion with the base game. If you backed it, if you backed it on Kickstarter. So if you got the expansion. Like I believe it was the Riverfolk expansion, which was a $30 expansion. You got that along with your base game for free if you went through Kickstarter. Whereas the people at Gen Con will have to pay $90 if they want both.
Actually, no, because it doesn't even show the expansion for sale, just the base game at Gen Con.
Oh, there you go.
They'll have the expansion.
It's interesting. There's nothing listed under the expansions into this game.
They'll have it there.
Unless it's not right in the database. Oh, no, never mind. Ignore me. Okay.
And let's just back it up just real briefly. It's like they say the retail release isn't was never planned until September. So, I mean, it stinks. Oh well, move forward.
Yeah.
You can gnash your teeth all day long. It ain't gonna change anything.
It will not change it. But I get why people are pissed, and this is just gonna make it go longer. But Pete says, well, you get extra stuff, but you know what? Nobody cares because if a game, when you back something on Kickstarter, if it comes out and it goes over like a wet fart, which sometimes that happens. What happens? Something you were excited for.
Seafall.
Right. So, and you know what? Seafall is a good example. I pre-ordered that game and I had to get it after other people got it. And by the time I got my game, everybody had already shit all over it. And so I didn't even have time to form my opinion on something. I fronted the money for, right?
Seafall is like the biggest example of like
overhyped.
It's such an interesting like case study in what happened with that game. pre-order all the hype in the world. 100 copies at Gen Con. All 100 people are like, garbage game, throw it away. Everyone canceled their pre-order. It was just, and then a few months later, they're selling it for $20 on cool stuff. What an interesting case study, I think.
Yeah, and it's a good example of why it sucks when you don't get the game that you pre-ordered first, because you can ruin it. Because say I
took the wind out of your sails.
Yeah.
Well,
literally.
what if my game group hears about it and says we don't even want to try it because we heard it's crap?
I
so
pre-ordered it as well, and after watching the reviews, I never opened my copy. I sold it while it was still worth at least 50 or 70.
And so that's why it's bullshit when that happens to you. So I will stand up for the people that are pissed off a little bit.
Next.
Next.
Level 99 has a bunch of Exceed stuff. It's
next.
Exceed is good. Exceed is quite fun. If you and more stuff is always great.
Is it just like simplified BattleCon?
Kind of, but it's still fun.
It's actually more advanced, I think.
And level 99 games, I'll say this: level 99 games I'll always really like Brad. He's a really super nice guy, and plus, I can't think of the name now, but the meta game about card collecting.
Millennium Blades.
Oh, Millennium
Blades is
good.
So
That's like
good.
a top 100 game.
It is.
Yeah.
Good.
It's such a good game. Anyway,
I like the stuff they do that isn't their typical. I like Millennium Blades. I like Argent the Consortium. And I'm really excited to play that train game that they just did Kickstarter for. So, all right.
All right. After Exceed, we got Professor Treasure's Secret Sky Castle.
Cool.
It's a game.
The puzzle
Next.
game.
Next, Temporal Odyssey.
you can't just say it's a game for all these things.
Competitive
That's
puzzle
not the one sentence.
Competitive
not
puzzle game.
It's not a game.
It's a card drafting game.
It's not a game. It's a Puma.
Temporal. It's 20 minutes.
Next up, Libelud through Asmodee North America will have 500 copies of Shadows Amsterdam.
But I love how this. We'll have 500 copies of this, and nobody cares.
And they'll have 495 after Gen Con.
It's some kind of deduction game
There's
with
like
cute
200
art.
people
It'll sell.
interested.
It'll
sell.
yeah.
Well,
it'll
here's
sell.
the thing: when everything else is sold, they go.
You
The next level goes right. Like last year, everything sold. Everything.
That's not true.
Oh,
Okay.
it was mostly true.
I have a question. So we're about to get into loan chart games. Did they release Apocrypha?
Yeah.
Did,
And Ninth World.
did people really like that? Because that was like really hyped.
I've never even heard of it, so it wasn't that hyped.
That's because you hate the system, I think.
Pathfinder system.
It's the Pathfinder adventure card game system.
Yeah, but it was supposed to have all this like crazy stuff in it, right? I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah.
Yeah, check the ratings on BGG. I'm sure there's something.
So, yeah, Lone Shark has The Ninth World, a skill building game for Numenera.
sounds like a deck builder.
Nope.
I am so
It's
tired
an
of
auction game.
God, I just can't stand
It's
them.
an auction fantasy game, but it's very weird.
Thornwatch.
Next, Thornwatch. That's a
Watch
penny
Explain.
arcade game.
Yeah, I think this has a lot of hype or a lot of.
So
excitement.
did Kevin just show up and then vanish? Did he like?
Yeah, he came.
No, he's
He's
here.
right.
He's still here.
Well, I don't see his picture moving at all.
No, he's here.
Oh, there he is. I thought.
He's under the covers.
He's like watching RedTube on his phone, just waiting for.
What?
Yeah, these are
Right.
the penny arcade guys, right?
Yeah, so, yep, penny arcade guys. Next up, from Lookout Game, Pipe Mutts.
This looks good.
I want this game because it's a Ridback game.
This is for sale.
Title. Supposed to be for sale. So this is their little Songbirds game that they've had out there for a while that Lookout picked up. So
Cool.
Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback do really good card games really, really well.
yes,
And so this is another one of them.
it's a go buy for me game because it's Matt and Ben.
Have you seen their new game? Oh, sorry.
No, Matt Riddle's my Burger King buddy. Whenever we meet up at a convention, we usually try to go to Burger King together. I don't know why. It's just our thing now.
I don't know why either.
Yeah, I don't know why either. It's like
That sounds like a terrible tradition.
it's like let's go get some onion rings and a cheeseburger. Okay, sounds good.
Great guys.
Their,
too.
their game about glass. They have a new card game coming out about glass, and it's so good. I played it at Unpub. It's amazing. But this one's probably going to be great too.
Hey.
Teach, we already skipped your section. Sorry.
Toss salad.
Toss salad.
Toss salad.
It's fun.
That's all we got to say.
Oh well,
Yeah.
we're about to get to one he might like. Anatomy Flux.
There you go. We run into
Moody
the
Labs
flux.
and 18 different copies of Flux.
I just
You know what?
did some
How-
flux.
How great must it be to have like Flux? I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
it's like just regurgitate, find a theme, regurgitate the cards, and then
It's
Okay.
Anatomy Flux has trivia in it.
I have a quick thing. So when we were at training camp at Panda, one of the guys got.
so
I'll be right
just
back,
say
guys.
Rob says he's got to go, so I was just gonna say.
Yeah, I got to
goodbye,
get up
Rob.
in 3
Oh
hours.
man,
Oh, what? You
Until,
got to go in 3 hours to
The
go
rest
to
of
your
us are all
arm
leaving
wrestling.
soon too.
That's right.
Goodbye, Mr. Rob. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
Hey, I'll see you guys at
see you
Gen
guys
Con.
next week.
See you
All
next
right.
week.
See you next week.
Rob, let's meet up and talk at Gen Con for sure and figure out
Your Warhammer channel.
Yep.
doing the thing.
Bring
Why not?
bring a
Yeah,
stapler.
don't definitely. We'll spend some time. What's
All
that?
right, good deal.
Bring
Okay,
a stapler.
I will later.
All right, and then, so Flux, you were saying?
So we were at training camp, and of course, we're trying to feel out everything. But one of the guys that got hired at the same time as me goes, "Well, what should we do if we're talking to somebody and the game just sounds like it's like total garbage?" And I just looked at him and I go, "Well, I mean, if somebody was trying to describe Flux to you, you'd probably think that. But man, we sure would like to make Flux, wouldn't we?" And yeah, you're exactly right, Lance. Like, I mean, it's a gold mine. And it will never stop being a gold mine. So whether or not it's a good game, it sure as heck sells a lot of copies.
Yeah, I mean they're just gonna go through it and
Just like Munchkin, just like a bunch of other crap.
well, what's weird is Steve Jackson Games actually just laid off a bunch of people. I guess they downsized
Really?
because the Munchkin train kind of dried up a little bit.
Well, maybe they should have, instead of making Munchkin everything else, they should have stuck to Munchkin.
All right.
Who
Flux,
knows?
Firefly Flux, Flux Creeper Pack, Monty Python Flux.
We've got a non-flux game called Get the MacGuffin mixed in there.
That actually looks like fun. Looks like a cool little player elimination game. It almost made my top 10.
Star Trek Flux, Nano Fictionary Blinks expansion. Okay.
I'm just waiting for Flux. The Flux game about Flux.
Flux, you.
Star
Go back
Trek,
to get
And two new rule
Flux,
cards for Zindo.
Star Trek.
go back to
Flux.
get the MacGuffin.
Okay, go back to
Very
Get the
good.
MacGuffin.
We should play this.
Yeah, I thought it sounded interesting.
I played it a bunch of times at Gamma. It's fun.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course you did.
Call it.
It's great.
It sounds like a super quick, just player elimination game.
And the playtime on it destroys Cthulhu Love Letter.
I thought you were about to say
That
don't.
took forever.
We'll kill Lance like 15 times in the time it took for one Cthulhu game.
Yay!
Yay.
You guys are so harsh on Flux. Flux is fun.
I like Flux.
Oh, it's horrible.
Everyone would
My
love to
first
be
games.
making royalties on Flux right now. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you all do it.
Oh, we should get him to make Alaboom Flux.
You know what? People buy natural light too. Doesn't make it
Yeah,
much
we
good.
sell 38 copies. That's what we got.
As long as I get my 1 penny per copy sold.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Next week,
Let's go to Lucky Duck Games with Fruit
Yes.
Ninja Combo Party.
There's a new Zendo thing here. I don't know if
Now,
we
is
got
that the
New
deck
rule
building one?
cards.
What's that?
That's not the deck building one. I played the deck building.
No. This is that logic game that you construct rules and everybody has to try to figure out what the rule is.
No, I'm talking about the Fruit Ninja.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to go back to one of the games that might actually be interesting to us.
The Zendo.
Zendo.
It's 10 new rule cards. For
Ew.
Zendo,
Yeah.
So it's an expansion.
Fruit Ninja.
So yeah, Fruit
Is this
Ninja
like the
game.
app?
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
app game.
Yep.
Well, they just launched Jetpack Joyride on Kickstarter, right?
Yeah, looks good.
So they're just going through different apps.
I like their style. I like Lucky Duck's style.
And
I don't
there's
think
there's-
Jetpack was performing nearly as well as they had hoped. Because I know
I
Fruit
wish they had the murder investigation game.
Detective. Oh yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. Chronicles of Crime.
Yeah, with the VR thing.
Yeah, that one's cool.
That VR game is good.
Have
Then
any of you
there's
guys
an
played Vikings
expansion
Gone
for-
Wild?
I've played it. It's a deck building game, and it's like Clash of Clans, the deck building game.
Are you talking about Vikings Gone Wild with the Fruit Ninja?
Yes,
Oh, I
Vikings
love
Gone Wild.
Vikings Gone Wild, and I got a card in that one, Master of Elements.
It's not a bad little
You're in
deck
it?
builder.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Yeah.
Will I like it?
You might. Do
I
you
think
like Clash of Clans and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to play it very
Is it just is it just everybody beating everybody up?
yeah, I mean, it's a very quick game of Clash of Clans. That's all.
Okay, if it's quick, yeah, sure. And if you get beat up, can you get back in?
And you can like build your own.
You don't get permanently hurt by getting beat on. So
Okay, that's good.
Oh, we're about to get to a game I'm excited about.
so let's move on to Mattel with Blockus Duo.
Boo.
Are you talking about Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters Creepy Cellar expansion? Is that the excitement train, Joe?
Oh no.
If you play Ghost Fight and Treasure Hunter Creepy Cellar and you win, you get a golden ghost.
Ooh.
Are you serious
Yep.
right now?
I thought you were gonna say you get a golden shower.
Gold.
I'm like, okay.
Whoa!
Like,
Bonanza, just playing that weekend.
you have weird rules at your house, Scott.
Don't be a prude.
Wow.
So if you want the golden ghost, you got to play it and win.
Spirit of the Wild.
Who gives you the golden ghost?
Mattel.
So
Are you being
wait.
serious right now?
I'm being 100% serious.
So if you go, are you saying like you go to the convention and demo it and win, they give you a golden ghost?
Yeah, a little golden meeple ghost. It's not gold.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's golden, right? I don't know what it's made of.
Hmm.
I would take one, but I just don't have the time.
Oh, Mr. Important over here.
Well, I don't think any of us have the time.
Mr. Big Shot.
Maybe Forrest.
Who do you think you are?
I'm going to be interviewing 100 people. I my third guy.
He's not gonna have time then either. Okay, Spirits of the Wild.
I like the wolf. He looks neat.
Yeah, it's cool.
Excellent. Trailmazers.
I like the name. A trail mazer.
And Voltage.
The designer's name is Jurgen Heel.
I'm just gonna say this? Could the Voltage box look worse?
They could maybe not have
I
the
don't think
little
that's the real
light
box.
behind it. In that
I
way
mean,
they-
it's like
I
why?
think that's like the rule book.
Why
how
must
is
you
that-
build it?
No,
Three
this is
people
well.
said
This
they
is what the
must
original
have it.
box. This is a
Three
reprint.
Yeah, I want to know what 3 people are like. Gotta have my Voltage.
Well, it's a reprint.
They're running to it.
Brian, you.
Screw Root. I gotta get in line for Voltage.
Okay,
Next.
moving on. Mayday. Bad Doctor.
Bad Doctor is fun. I'm just gonna say that right now. That is a fun game, and I was
Yeah.
surprised actually.
Everyone.
Is it like hot potato with the patient?
It's tile placement humor.
Medical.
Medical tile placement.
Okay.
But yeah, it's about getting rid of the patient before he dies in your care.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's
Dark.
That's like that's like every hospital. Never mind. Whatever.
Like yeah.
Here is that second Cahoots game.
and that's actually not a bad little trick taking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried
Lincoln
that.
really like this one.
I liked it.
Poetry Slam.
That one is fun. It is.
It
very
is.
humorous, and it's very
It's
different.
very fun. I asked the designer to make a very quick version, like a party game version. I mean, it's a party game, but there's too much scoring
Yeah.
for a party game. So I'm hoping there's like a little variant, just kind of
You
like
definitely have to play with people that are going to be willing to like just
be goofy.
yeah, it's like remember that one that moose.
Bunny
Bunny
Moose Moose.
Bunny Moose, and like you couldn't play with people who's like, I don't want to be stupid,
Yeah,
just
no,
you
you have
gotta-
to get a little like you take a shot of vodka or tequila or something before you play.
yeah, just recognize the fact that you're gonna. It's like when you're playing, but wait, there's more. You just have to have fun with it and not really care if you win or lose.
All right.
Mo Ideas Symphony number 9. This is my number 1. I have to get this game at Gen Con.
Yeah.
So this is my most excited, anticipated game at Gen Con.
Really?
Yep, they did some very interesting games last year. I didn't think either of them were great, but they were neat. And so this one looks like it's going to be another neat game, and there's not much I'm that excited about. But last year they did. They shared the booth with you, Lance. They did.
Yep, they're sharing their booth. We're sharing the booth again. So.
Yeah, they did. What did? I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Mini Rails, which was a very very mean-spirited
Tulip
game,
Bubble.
and Tulip Bubble.
Yeah, those were good.
Tulip Bubble I had significant issues with, but I thought it was a really neat game.
Yeah, we didn't. We had the option of picking up either of those, and we picked up Mini Rails. So,
this looks good.
Yeah, we're hopefully maybe we'll handle the wider dispersion of this. But I played this. It's good. It's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Navua Games, The Reckoners.
This is in my top 3. This one looks really cool.
And it's huge. This is a massive game.
Yeah, $100. That's pretty nuts.
Okay, this is what's weird about this is that my daughter has read the books, and I might have to buy this one.
It's based on books?
It's based on it's based on preteen books about
Brandon Sanderson.
Okay, so the idea of the world is that basically, what if you gave these massive superpowers to a really select few people, and what would happen? And here's the idea: they don't choose to be good. Because they're so powerful and they can't be stopped. They all basically turn evil, and maybe kind of war with each other a little bit. But the normal human beings are just getting destroyed along the way. And so what the Reckoners are is this secret group of people that they start trying to figure out basically how Superman has kryptonite. They slowly but surely try to figure out the weaknesses of these supervillains basically, and they flat out kill them. I mean, so this secret, they're not oh, we need to capture you. No, they're assassinating the evil superheroes. So I don't know how this game will play, but like I said, my daughter has read. There's 4 books, and she's read all of them, and she really liked them. And I might have to pick it up for that reason.
You will get $100 worth of components out of the box. That's for sure.
Well, it's King of Tokyo Mechanisms meets Cooperative, and that's just oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but here's my deal. It's it's a huge box. It's got a ton of stuff. Do I, once again, do I just wait, and just have my local store order one?
It's a Kickstarter game, so I don't know if they're going to have it.
It may not be. I was just going to say, this is not a big company that's making this game, so you may not have a chance to buy it in retail. They only have 250 copies at Gen Con. They may not
But it's a
have many
licensed
more
property, right? So
That doesn't. It's not like it's a match. I don't think there were many people fighting each other for this license.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, hell, General Mills is a licensed product, but there's not 800 cereal games out there.
There's only one, baby.
Mm-hmm. So this may be one where you may not have a choice. You either order it from their website or you buy it at Gen Con. You may not see it again for another year. Next.
Dead on.
Reef.
This has been out for a while.
It released Origins. I don't know if it's hit full retail or not. I love this game, by the way. It scratches my spatial game placement itch. I love spatial games, colorful games, and it's a nice, super fast little game.
Oh, I'm just laughing.
I liked it, but I don't think I'd ever get it just because it's 2 to 4.
Forrest, you got to do the next game.
It's good.
The next game. Let's see.
From North Star Games.
Dude, is it dude?
It's dude.
That looks fun as hell. And I'll tell you what, I have yet to play a North Star Games game that I didn't enjoy.
I have. It's the next game, Funky Chicken, which is Happy Salmon.
It's like
Happy Salmon is hot garbage that just makes me want to throw up.
Oh, stick in the mud. What?
That game makes me just it drives me nuts watching.
I
people
love
play.
that game. The kids in my class love the hell out of that game.
So gross.
I like Most Wanted a lot too.
Hey,
Most
Most
Wanted's
Wanted
very
was
good.
awesome. We got to play that. They did a special evening for media people at Origins, and they were all dressed up in costumes. And that game was fantastic, though. There's several different poker mechanisms where you go to different places, and they had kind of a embargo, so nobody could talk about it until the 15th of this month. But that game's going to be a hit, I think.
I really hope that does get popular because expansions with that would be fantastic. Because I'm putting my review up next week. But it was really funny at the press event because Bruce and I don't know her name, but the lady that was there
Nicole.
were dressed up like all get up, and then the guy that was dealing at my table was just in like a regular shirt.
It's good.
That was crazy
game.
fun.
And if you like poker,
Here they are.
Nice.
No, maybe not.
Next,
Say Anything 10th anniversary. If you buy it at Gen Con, it comes with a John Cusack mini.
Don't even joke about that. He's my favorite actor of all time, and I would totally get one. No doubt about it.
your back wall says otherwise.
What? They didn't have any John Cusack posters. I would rock the hell out of that.
You need a
I'm
Better
sure
Off
there
Dead
you can
poster.
get a John Cusack.
I'm gonna get you a Better Off Dead poster just for you.
I'm just gonna say, what's the best John Cusack movie?
Better Off Dead.
Say anything.
No, not for me. Better Off Dead was
Say
fantastic.
anything.
high fidelity.
It's got to be Con Air. I love me some Con Air.
No.
Nicolas Cage.
Because it's got Cage and Cusack. Yeah.
No, you're all wrong. Because the best one is Gross Point Blank.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like
Michael Blake is fantastic.
You know what? I would argue High Fidelity. I'd go with Scott on that one.
Oh no, High Fidelity is good, but it's almost too. I don't know. I kind of am angry with it because it was like the coming out party for Jack Black, and he just was just such a waste of everybody's time. So, I kind of it loses a notch. Yeah.
Honorable
Someday
mention.
I want to sort my
Also a fantastic
autobiographically.
baseball movie.
Oh yes, 8 Man Out is quite good.
Someday I want to sort my board games autobiographically.
All right.
The book High Fidelity, and I know this is an ad nauseum. Read if you like the movie, give yourself the chance to read the book or audible.com the book, and you'll be very pleased with High Fidelity, the book.
Warsaw, City of Ruin.
Yeah, Warsaw is
We're
awesome.
so off.
This is great. If you guys haven't tried this one,
It's been out for a while though.
Yeah, they
but
rebranded.
not easily. You couldn't buy it. I mean, in America, you had to import it, I believe.
You couldn't buy it in America.
4 new Oink games. So if we're gonna say anything about, there's 4 new Oink games. A lot of people just buy these games no matter what they are.
Yep.
It's hard to tell exactly what they're gonna be until you buy them.
Save $11, buy 10 and save 30.
Yeah.
So I've enjoyed a few of these games. There's been a few that are amazing, but I think most of them might just be like, okay, that was a thing, but they're not.
Remember
that
the year we
expensive.
played Insider about 100 times?
Yep, we played
Really?
Insider a
Insider.
ton.
I still say Deep Sea Adventure is like the
Yeah, that's
pinnacle
a good
of
one.
Oink.
But the weird thing about Deep Sea Adventure is like there was another game like just like it, and because Scott Nicholson actually had it, and he was like, he was at a convention that I was with, and I showed him Deep Sea Adventure, and he was just like, "There's a game that's exactly like this," and then
Celestia.
he's like, "This is weird." It's like they both got created at like the same time, and like the other weird thing is that he created, Scott Nicholson, he created an app that was like he called it Having a Conversation, where like there's like 3 people in a room, and 2 people know what the conversation's about, and the third person doesn't, and so the third person has to bluff their way through, and the other 2 basically it was Spyfall in an app, and it came out, and his app came out like the same time Spyfall came out, and he was just like, I had no idea Spyfall existed, and he points to that all the time as like, this is how people can create the same game at the same time without anybody knowing. Anyway, going on.
I think the
Osprey
tomato
Games,
mama
High
thing is
Society.
funny.
Tomato?
Tama tomato.
Did you say tomato mama?
Well, I mean, you could like get a tomato, mama, toe. You know, like you flip the cards over and then you have to say them from start to finish.
That does not sound like fun. I'm sorry. You can say
Joey,
tomato mama, and that's
does
supposed
not
to
like does not
No,
like
it even
fun.
says in the description. It's a party.
No,
game.
I didn't make it myself.
And this is also
Tomato
where they
mama.
actually charge you the weird MSRPs. Like when you go up there, and I remember because I picked up, I think I bought Insider there last year, and it was like 17 and a quarter or something like that, and they actually had change. I like handed them a 20, and they're like, "Here's your $2.75." I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!"
they're like straight from Japan, so like it's just a culture thing.
I know.
No, I know you know. I'm just saying.
And Osprey Games, High Society.
Great game. Great
It
game.
is. Yeah, that's an old school game.
Beautiful version of it though, right?
Void does not look like a game.
What?
Void.
He's still drooling over.
You didn't want to talk about him? We didn't even talk about him. We just passed by.
Well,
All right,
Void
fine.
just
We're moving
looks
on.
weird, and then
1 to 99.
Well, you make a picture with your cards, and then you take a photo and upload it to social networking. Whoever gets the most likes wins.
who is eating?
It's Heath playing with
Opening
Stop
stuff
it.
on.
I'm opening a bag. Shut up.
You shut up.
You
Be
shut up.
professional.
And Osprey Games, High Society. Take two.
Beautiful.
Yep.
It's old. It's a reprint.
All right.
Yeah,
And
it's
the
been
Source
around,
Games.
and it's well loved by lots of people that like Reiner Kinesia.
Pandasaurus Games.
Guilty.
The
The game, reprint of the game. It's a very pretty version of it. Illusion. I played this at Dice Tower Con. This game is really cool.
Yep.
Have you guys played this?
I have.
Oh,
So this is like Timeline, but with colors. So you'll flip over a
Mine's
card,
up
right?
close.
So you'll flip over a card and it'll be like red, right? So then all the cards have these really weird patterns that have red, blue, yellow, and green on them. And so what you've got to do is you've got to say which card of these two has more red than the other card. Then the next person goes, he flips a card and he has to put it at either end or split the cards. And so you keep going until somebody places a card and you go, BS, that has way less red than that card. And then you flip them over and the backs of the cards have the percentages on them. It's really like, it sounds like what? But it's really interesting. And like, it works really well. Like it makes a really interesting game. So
It's Wolfgang Warsch, who did Quacksalber as well as Gunstrom Clever
And the mind.
and the Mind.
yeah. That's why I was
Which is
interested.
next? The
The
Mind.
guy's just slaying it this year. So
Yes, yeah.
this game I think is going to be pretty big. So
The mind or the?
No,
It's got
Illusion.
It's got legs.
I think
Yeah, I
Illusion.
think especially if they market it as his follow-up game, I think that's really going to attract a lot of people because that was the only reason I was interested.
I mean, they're all in the same year.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's crazy to pump out that many games that are doing that well. Speaking of which, the next one is The Mind, which is, I thought I would hate this game, and it's tolerable.
Love
No,
it.
this game's
I
is
love that game.
wonderful.
I played
It's
it
awesome.
40 times since Origins.
It's awesome.
Kids in my class are nuts for it too. I got these two 11-year-old girls. They made their own copy out of it, out of Post-it notes. Just
What?
Yeah. They made it out of Post-it notes, and I was like, if you do that, I'll laminate it for you. And so now they have their own copy of The Mind made out of Post-it notes.
It's great.
You realize that's illegal, right? That they,
Oh, I didn't realize you were a cop, bro.
Is it really illegal to number?
I would think you arrested
It's like-
a long time ago.
Post-it notes that say 1 through 100.
Yeah, I don't think that's illegal.
So
They have stars on the other
It's
one.
using proprietary information.
And Minerva.
I am very proud that I own the original like Japanese version of Minerva. I actually really enjoyed that game.
We couldn't sell it. We had 100 copies. Took like forever to sell. I'm curious to see if these will sell.
We
And it's
almost
off Hayashi.
yeah. This is something that I mean, Hayashi-san offered this to us, and we turned it down. We just didn't think it was going to have legs, and And I hope we're wrong. I hope he sells
No,
millions
yeah,
of
me too,
copies.
'cause it's a
and
nice
we're
version.
wrong.
Really nice.
Necrophilia.
Necrophobia looks like you should at least try it.
It is an incredibly interesting game. I got a demo at Origins, and it's a I don't know if it's a good game, but I know it's damn interesting, and I want to play it again. I almost fell asleep playing it because you wear those glasses and it just completely blacks it out, and at that point you're just like, oh, I'll just shut my eyes. And it's like a 45 minute game, and I almost fell asleep playing the game. But
you have to leave them on the whole entire time.
Yeah, because you have to play blind.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it's just fascinating because you actually start to picture this forest that you're in your mind. It's a really interesting concept.
So the quick version, Aldi, it's a 1 versus many game where the one can see and the many are all playing blind, and you're trying to escape from this forest using nothing but playing with feel.
Basically, the board has different pieces that feel different things, and you will kind of stumble your way through it. I played it. I think my daughter and my wife would probably enjoy goofing around with this one. I just don't know. I don't know how many legs it has. After you get past the gimmick, you might be kind of
put the glasses on for another 45 minutes.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's a very neat concept game, but I don't know if it's a great game.
I want to try it.
I would like to see somebody else build on that, though. I think that's a really cool concept.
Quinto.
Rolling right,
and no frills rolling right, but still fun. I'll say that. I actually enjoyed. I played that also at Origins, and I liked.
I feel
but
like I
once again,
the German version.
Yeah, I played, and as soon as I got about halfway through, I was like, I've played this before. That was I slowly but surely realized that I had played it before. Yeah, and then I realized, actually, I think I played it with you, Scott. I played it with you at BGG Con.
Yeah, I think we did, actually. I kind of remember this.
Yep, I totally remember that. Okay, never mind.
All right.
I think. It's similar to Quicks too, right?
Yeah.
Passport Game Studios, Fleeting Olympus.
No, and I know nothing about it because I probably would have already been told about it by the guy who used to run the show over there, who no longer runs the show over there. So,
he was talking about it at Origins a little bit when he's walking around. I met the designer, the couple that designed it. It's a little bluffing game with cute, almost Disney-esque art.
I'm just gonna say this: how many games come out that were? Honestly, that most people are just like, Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we're getting a lot of that because I think a lot of us are getting tired of bluffing games because there's already a lot of great bluffing games out, and we're like, oh, another bluffing game, cool.
Now I'm curious. I might have missed this earlier, but how interested were these games were you guys? Because I know you guys have been pretty down on it. I did my top 10 list, and I had to whittle it down from 24. I'm really excited.
Way better than us then.
I had to work really hard to find a 10th.
I had 6.
Tomorrow.
This is a tough group. This is a tough group for us.
And I've added about 4 or 5 just tonight on stuff that other people have talked up. But on my own, just going through the list, I had 6 games.
We're a bunch of jaded assholes. So.
I guess I hit my second win. I got a little bit burned out after Essen last year, but I feel like I'm back in it. I'm ready to play it.
My big thing right now is that I don't know. It's like I've said this before. There's just I don't feel like I have to get it right away, right? And it's just like you guys almost sold me on literally. I almost pre-ordered that game, that Reckoners game for 100 simoleons. No, I won't because I almost did it, and then I just sat there and I said, so I could get this. So I could play it once or twice with my daughter, who will then who herself would rather play Warhammer than any other board game.
This could be her favorite game ever.
Yep.
Her favorite game ever right now is putting her Lizardman Seraphon army on a table and sending a 45-year-old man crying. That's what she enjoys more than anything.
I think honestly, the Reckoners.
Part of the reason I'm getting this second wind is because I'm introducing so many hobby games to the kids in my class. and I've started to like scaffold them up. Like last week, we played Trains with the expansion, and we played Letter Tycoon, and I'm hoping to introduce Aeon's End in the next few weeks. Like I feel like that's part of the reason why I'm really getting back into it.
And I think that's great that you get that passion going again, because I miss that. I miss having that a bit, and I'm more hyped up on gaming now as I got completely burnt out for a bit. But then again, it's got so many great games and so many good games that I look at a bunch of games that are like, okay,
Yeah,
and
not worth my time
I need
greatness.
Oh, that game looks awesome, right? If a game's not at least good or better, I have no time for it anymore.
Nope, it doesn't crack my collection anymore. I've had to scale down, and
I'll play it. I'll go to a con and play it, but throwing down bones for it,
I got 300 games sitting 10 feet from me that are all good, that are going out of my collection. If it's not great anymore, it doesn't even enter.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. Dragon Master. It's a game.
10 minutes.
The old
It
Dragon
says
Master game?
10-minute tile
oh,
placement.
it's an old game. It's a 2004 game. Keep going.
Wait, I think we played the
Game
demo of the
over.
game.
See how we are?
Over.
Game Over came out in 2017. This is the English first edition of that.
Holy
I was
crap.
going to get this in Essen. That looks really cool.
180 minutes.
Yep.
This is like
It's a dinner party style game.
It's an 8-player game, 7 to 8-player game. So
The
it's,
thing that worries me, though, is the last sentence. Solving the case is not the main goal, but having fun. That worries me.
You know what that is? That usually means it's a crap game.
yep.
Well, and then my question then is, so once you play, is it replayable?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Really
Next,
need-
round the
I'm
world.
hoping to pick it up, though. I'm going to talk to Pegasus. It looks really neat.
Around the world, it plays in 15 minutes. It's a hand management simultaneously action game, so we can pretty much assess what the game is like. It's just a card playing quick filler.
Talisman, Legendary Tales.
Dude,
So this
that
looks
was
like this is a deck building, a cooperative deck building talisman game. So
Yeah, cool.
it's weird that Pegasus Spiel is putting out a Fantasy Flight license.
Yeah, it's
Fantasy Flight doesn't have
It just
license.
8+ too, so it's lighter, definitely lighter.
Fantasy Flight doesn't have that anymore.
Really? Huh.
yeah, they got rid of it because they had Relic, which was their Warhammer version of it, and then when that gone, the Talisman line's done with them though.
Well, Talisman isn't a good game anyway. So
Yeah. So
How dare
you.
Game Studios.
Time out,
How
time out.
dare you?
Oh, Lance, we're not going to
Time
spend 30
out.
minutes talking about a game that's 20
No,
years
no,
old.
you shut your mouth.
you know it's not good. You can enjoy it.
It is
but
not
it's
Whoa,
good.
whoa. Are you going to talk about what's a good game and what isn't? Are you going to say it's a good game because it's enjoyable? Or are you going to say it's a good game because of the mechanisms? What's your
It's
criteria?
a bad game because it's a random luck fest.
Yeah.
Because you've never played a game
Okay.
that's depended upon chaos and luck, right? And had a good time, right, Keith?
I could have a good time, but that doesn't mean they're a good game.
What? Oh, you see, you're contradicting yourself on purpose on this time.
No, I'm
to be
not.
infuriating.
I like a lot of games that are not good games.
It's a good experience, not a good game.
Exactly.
I know. Games are meant to be enjoyed. Games that are fun are good games.
It's a bad
play
strategy
Talisman.
game. It's a fun experience game.
Well, who said it was a strategy game? Nobody in the
I'm
world
just-
said.
Okay. Most people consensus would say that the game is not enjoyable.
Oh, really? Let's stack up. Let's stack up the number of copies of Talisman and expansions sold compared to any of the 18xx games that you consider to be this like ultimate paradigm of orgasmic pleasure of board game excellence.
Yeah, but I'm weird like that. And my orgasmic pleasure has nothing to do with your orgasmic pleasure, except for that one day 5 years ago that we don't talk about.
Hey, you put his orgasmic pleasure in your orgasmic pleasure.
My point is that Talisman has stood the test of time for a reason because
We got
people have
dubbed by a company.
what.
So
Yeah,
is Monopoly, and we bag
No,
on
no,
that?
no, no,
Out
no,
of
no, no.
print now. I don't know if it's the test of time anymore.
No,
Yeah,
Games
It's not currently in print anymore.
What Talisman is in
Yeah.
print? It totally is because Games Workshop got it back.
Yeah.
Oh, does Games Workshop have it now?
Yeah, Games Workshop got it back.
Relic
And-
is going to be out of print.
It is out
Yeah,
of print. They're
I
not
actually-
reprinting it. Not now.
I just actually ordered the last expansion for that just so I make sure I have it. No, and I'll say this: Relic actually did a much better job of making a better talisman in a really. And if they actually went back to talisman and it incorporated the Relic process, the game would be better in as far as because it would actually allow a little more player choice. But the bottom line is people like want to bag on tons of games, but you know, as far as like games that have sold, like I'm sure Talisman and all of its iterations have sold 1 million copies. I mean, I just believe that. I don't know. I don't have figures to back it up. Which is most games would pray and beg for that possibility for that to happen.
If Talisman were to release now instead of when it originally did, would it be anything or gone in 2 seconds?
I think it would still sell really well.
I think it depends on if it was Kickstarter or not. I think if it was Kickstarter, it could.
Yeah, with a big pile of minis, maybe.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think if it was just released, I don't think so.
No, I think if that went on Kickstarter, people would look at it and be like, no.
Well, if Talisman came out and they threw like a D&D license on it, it would sell up like crazy.
Well,
But
anything you
that
throw
would
a
be
Star
something
Wars
for
or
the
D&D
license
license on,
game.
it's going to sell. But that doesn't mean it's a good game.
I'm just saying that, like, I know for a fact some of my greatest gaming memories are Talisman related. And I'm not talking about stuff when I was 18. I'm talking about stuff like 2 years ago, like literally like bust out laughing so hard you can't breathe because you're just having a blast playing the game. And you know, I just people want to bag on stuff.
turned into a frog again.
People want to bag on stuff all the time because it's like, oh, it's just roll and move. It's just this, that, and the other thing. It's that's fine, but I mean, Talisman is a fun game, and that's it.
Next, Pendragon Game Studios.
Ah!
Hexbonia.
I'll give you a
What is this?
Hexabonia.
City building mythology. Modular board. Hand management. 2 to 4 players. 30 to 45 minutes. Next. Waterloo.
What the?
Enemy mistakes. 2 to 3 players. 150 minutes. Age 13 and up. Peterson Games. Cthulhu Wars. 8 players. 90 to 120 minutes.
All right. Peterson Games has a game called Evil High Priest. I know nothing about it, but it has a bunch of expansions.
That one actually
And
looks
then-
pretty interesting. It's got like a modular worker placement aspect where each game is going to be kind of different. That one actually was on my radar. I want to try
And
it out.
then Glorantha, the Gods War. Oh, this was a big Kickstarter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Huge
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
And this is
And
yeah.
then-
Is it out actually now?
Did you see? I mean, Travis Chance put it perfectly when this was on Kickstarter. So Glorantha is a super old school like role playing game setting. There was like I think if I remember correctly. It was for RuneQuest, if I remember correctly. I don't remember, but I mean, it was from a long time ago.
So the Dragon Pass, Avalon Hill is set in it.
Yeah. So, but Travis
man,
said when he was talking about Glorantha, the Gods of War, was like this Kickstarter that did tons of money. It's from the Sandy Peterson Games, the same company that did the Cthulhu Wars games.
You read about RuneQuest, by the way.
I was right about RuneQuest. Yes. Ugh.
Yeah, I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing was like the all-in was like $620 or something like that. You got every single expansion, every single miniature, everything like that. And Travis is like, it's just like Sandy Peterson's like, I dare you to spend $600 on this game. And there were like people lined up. I mean, it was like people were just backing it like crazy.
It's almost
at that
like
level.
a $200 Cthulhu figure that's 3 feet tall.
Yeah. You know
Hey,
what?
hey, you will get that figure in 2023, okay?
I'm just messing.
Pete's like just simmering. That's all.
He's just like, I can't talk right now.
No, I just want you to get to the next freaking game.
Almost done.
Because it
We're
is
in the
almost
peas.
1 o'clock.
We're in the peas. We're in the peas.
We're in the P's. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not making it to the R's.
I don't think.
Fa-
I don't think
Phallus
there's that much more.
Games, Hannibal and Hamilcar.
Yeah. So a reprint of Hannibal.
Yep.
2 players, 40 to 200 minutes, 12 plus, $100.
This is
The
This
Mark
is a
Simonich.
war. This is a
Yeah.
war game.
Yeah.
Peacekeeper Games, smaller company. They have a game called Gearworks, and it looks like a
Yeah,
deluxe
that looks
edition
actually
as
pretty
well.
cool.
Gearworks does
like
look cool,
Gearworks.
and it's
I've
pretty
looked-
decently rated. It's like
And
That's
whether
what it was.
whether Kirk Dennison, the guy who runs the show at Peacekeeper, super genuine, super nice guy.
Yeah,
agreed.
And
yeah, he's a cool guy. I was talking to him at the last show. He was telling me about all the games that he liked. He said Talisman sucked though.
I will say,
Well,
totally. If you
next
like,
time you see him, you'll notice that one of his eyes doesn't focus really well because he said that around me.
Plaid Hat Games is releasing Ashes expansions, Crystal Clan expansions.
Yeah, a lot of expansions.
Guardian.
I can't believe people are still playing Ashes.
I can't
honestly.
either.
Well,
The artwork is gorgeous, and I get it, but I thought the game was nice when it first came out, but I lost interest almost immediately after that.
I like Ashes, but I don't.
The
care
best
about
thing.
it.
Well, when was the last time anybody talked about playing Ashes? Honestly,
I
the best.
honestly don't remember.
Well, that's the whole thing with any of those.
Well, okay, but the best thing about Ashes, and I'll say this if somebody doesn't know, it's like it was one of those games because it combined the card draw with dice rolling. So if you got bad luck with your card draw, you might still get good dice rolls.
You'll get bad luck with your dice roll.
Dice rolls, you can still get a good card draw. So I did really like that aspect.
Oh, I don't think it's a bad game. It just lost buzz super quick. As hot as it was when it came out, nobody talks about it now.
It's hard to stay interested in this kind of games.
I'm sure it has the fans that it has.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Or else they wouldn't be making
it-
expansions. They're not in the money of losing money.
It moves into that category of games where we don't hear about it a lot because it moves into its own little weird tournament scene.
Yep. No,
So-
I agree with that. Same.
Guardians.
Guardians. I saw that pop
Deck
up.
building, pool building, hand management.
I was excited about when I saw the designer because I really like Callan. But then I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, all these mechanisms that I don't really like. So moving on.
Spectre.
Like what?
There's a lot of buzz about this for the wrong reason.
So yeah, here's warning time. So don't buy Spectre Ops at Gen Con because the board is misprinted.
I bet they'll
has
fix it for
the
Gen Con.
locations printed incorrectly on it on the grid.
And all they're
think
doing
so.
for that
The
is
broken ones?
replacement
And
stickers.
they're doing replacement stickers on a board that the locations are printed spot UV.
Yeah,
So,
so
it will look like complete ass.
wait for the
Fine.
second edition for this one, folks.
Correct.
Only
If it
because
even
the
gets one.
stickers are they totally break the beauty of how beautiful the board actually is.
Which sucks because it's Emerson Matsauchi's game, and he's
And I love Emerson. He's a great designer, and the game is great. But I'm holding off on this expansion simply because I don't want a janked up board.
Can't they print redo a the paper pad? Wouldn't that be
They're not. They've already stated that they have replacement stickers.
I
to
think
stick
it may
over
have
here.
duplicate locations because they jacked up the grid. I don't know exactly what they did.
Yeah,
wrong.
there's
They
an
effed it
issue where
all
there's
up.
2 locations that are missing because they duplicated numbers, so it breaks the entire way of the game because it's all based on grid movement for the player.
Yeah.
So
And it
it's
also jacked
That's a
up
shame,
some of the
'cause I really
position
like
points and stuff.
Spectrum Ops. It's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
Spectre Ops is a
Spectre
great
Ops.
game, but this is a buyer beware. Unless you're okay with having very plain looking stickers on a board that's got a fine print to it, it's kind of a pass right now.
Starship Samurai.
Great game. I like it a lot. It's been out for a while though. This is not a new game. It came out about a month and a half ago.
I
Yeah,
think
this-
it just came out in the past month.
This came out to almost no fanfare.
It'll
It
be
just
new to most people.
Yeah, it'll be new to most people. It's a good game. I like it a lot.
But you can buy it from.
You can buy it now. You could have bought it a month.
Yeah, Starship Samurai really didn't have much buzz when it came out.
No, but it's a solid game. Miniature, really cool. 8 really cool Samurai Gundam mechs. Gameplay is really easy to fit. I learned it in one read through the rules and one play, and I know the game backwards and forwards now. It's a solid game.
just because this made me think of it. If you're not watching the Voltron cartoon, new Voltron cartoon on Netflix, you are missing out. That is awesome. Anyway.
It is
I
good
watched the
stuff.
first episode of One Punch Man, just so you know.
Oh, One Punch Man.
Plan B
That's the
games.
Thank you.
Eastern Wonders. I've been hearing bad things about this. I've heard it takes.
I've heard good things.
I've heard it takes.
I got my copy. I played it. It's great.
It really
I've heard
depends
it
on how bad analysis paralysis you get, I think.
Yes.
I've heard it. I heard it takes a very nice, simple game and just complicates it for no reason.
Now,
That's what I've heard.
I think it's fine, but I think I prefer Spice Road.
I just
I
want
like
my
the Golem
Golems version of it.
Golem's the only one I'll play.
Oh yeah, Golems is great.
Golem.
My daughter, I thought I'd hold on to the other one because of this, so they'd match up. But my daughter loves the Golems art more than anything, so she was like, "Oh." So I traded off the other one. I think I just gave it away to
I love
somebody.
the crystals. Crystals
Yeah.
are awesome.
I like how the different golems have jobs. Like I'm the bridge golem. I'm the firefighter golem.
That is pretty cool.
What
Playroom
does the 20
entertainment.
point golem do? He's just standing there.
Yeah.
Playroom
Costume
entertainment.
party
Costume party
assassin.
assassin.
Roll and move, spin and move, player
Deduction,
elimination.
murder mystery.
Yeah,
Honestly, even though this is a roll and spin and move game, I saw a video about this and it actually still looked kind of interesting to me. This is one of those ones I'm interested in. I don't know if I'll buy or not, but the video they had at Origins actually kind of made me think this doesn't sound as bad as it reads when you read the mechanisms.
Oh yeah, no, I remember this
Costume
one.
party
This looked good.
Yeah, I
it's
thought
like
it looked good.
Yeah.
Even though it's a roll and move, and I generally don't like roll and move, this one looked pretty cool. Portal Dragon, Palm Island.
Oh wow, this is 17 cards and it's like a city building game.
So
maybe
it's $1,
maybe it'll be really cool.
$1,
Paul,
like 5 cents a card.
I did a video for this. Go check it out. It is really well done. And I was kind of scared because whenever like 2 or 3 games before this, where the whole idea is that you have this game and it's all in your hand and you can play it anywhere. I was like, it seemed like that was the gimmick, and the game itself wasn't really anything to be really all excited about, because it was all like, oh, you got to take a card and you flip it, and you turn it this way, and you do this, and you have the card and you flip it that way, and then you're holding these cards in your hand. And I was always like, there's nothing to the game. It's just me monkeying with these cards. But Palm Island, it feels like you're actually playing a game instead of a gimmick. So check it out.
Portal Games, Detective.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to say something here that, and I don't, and you know what, I'm going to be proven wrong on this. And I was actually, I pre-ordered it, I got it, and because I thought, well, my wife is a huge fan of Time Stories, and I was like, this is a game that I think she'd like, and I think she'd dig it. And so we started playing it, and I kind of had this thing in the back of my head, this kind of like niggling feeling of like, why isn't this more interesting? And I'm not gonna speak for, but I called up another reviewer who's playing music in the background.
It's Academy Awards speeches too long, walk-off music.
Oh, shut up. So, and I had a conversation, and I was actually like relieved that they kind of echoed the same thing to me, where it was just kind of like, it's like it's like reading to, and you're like, you're just reading lots and lots of stuff. And I'm not saying that's necessarily bad. It's just maybe not what I was looking for.
But it's all information that fits together into it.
Yeah, I pre-ordered this game and I've already got it, so this isn't a big deal for me at Gen Con, but from the people that have played it, they've rated it very highly, so yeah. I'm looking forward to playing it, and Ignacy generally doesn't disappoint. While I wasn't a big First Martians fan, most everything else that he's put out I've been pretty high on. So.
And so, yeah, that's just it. So, like, we got done with the first thing, and we were just like, okay, and then we both had that feeling of, like, this could have been better somehow.
You gotta keep playing it. You gotta keep playing it.
I don't know.
I think it could be one of those games you just got to get through.
The first mission is just to kind of sort of teach you the system.
I don't know, man. It's just like I said, just like, can I just read some more, please? That's great, you know.
But there's
and
clues and stuff. You didn't get into.
I understand. I've played.
There's lots of decisions to make.
I know. Because I don't want to give anything away, so I'm being really.
I know exactly.
I'm being really vague, and
there's a lot of
just
reading for sure.
Yeah,
And
read
it's
up on it. There's plenty of literature out there and plenty of reviews that are non-spoiler. So if you're interested in detective-style games, this is one of the newer ones you can look for.
And I'll just say this right now: I was also kind of like First Martians didn't like excite me like I thought it would, and I was like, it seems like this is another stumble to me, and I'm kind of like, what's going on here? You know, but whatever. What do I know? I'll always have 51st State, and 51st State is one of the best games I've ever played. So,
Power 62 Games.
If
Power
they don't have a
62.
picture, they don't deserve to have publicity.
Next, Pressman Toy Corp, the Oregon Trail game.
Civilization.
So this is weird because Pioneer Days, and I'm not trying to toot the horn of my company. So Pioneer Days is like, most people say this is like we're playing Oregon Trail because it's all about traveling your wagon and dealing with calamities and things like that. So we at one point actually considered pursuing getting the Oregon Trail license or name for the game, and we ultimately just decided, you know what, we'll just, it was like, we'll just put it out and make it ourselves and let people like draw the connection themselves if they want to. And I don't know. It's like, and then this comes out, and I'm interested to see what it's like.
This one looks like garbage, though.
It's from Pressman Toy Corp, which turned me off. Like, I was looking through their games, and I was like, oh,
yeah. But look at the designers, though. I mean, it's
Daryl
Andrews.
It's cool, but it's still like 24 DVD board game. Carl Yastrzemski's Baseball. 20 questions for kids. The annoying thinking.
I don't know.
Keep going.
I will give Daryl the benefit of the doubt more often than not. So I'll check it out. See what it's like.
Plastic Soldier Company Games, a war game company. Battle of Britain. It's a long ass war game. So is the Great War. Well, actually, this one's not. This is an expansion.
That's an expansion.
It's based on the.
So the first one is Richard Borg. And
They're both Richard Borg.
Oh, the first one. Okay, because the first one, the Battle of Britain. First of all, I'm kind of a World War II buff. I read a lot of stuff about it. And Battle of Britain, because it was a lot of big air war that was going on, and I find that extremely interesting. This is one of my few games that I want to pick up when I'm there. I'm actually like the Luftwaffe and the RAF had some of the coolest planes. Shut up.
So Queen
based
game
on the Civil War system is
Yeah. So I remember playing the old Civil War system, like, I don't know, but I'm interested in it, and this is possibly Battlecry. This is something I might pick up. I don't know.
Queen Games.
This looks like
we're skipping everything here because it's promos and old games. There's nothing.
Well, Luxor's the new.
Luxor's new.
I like Luxor a lot.
I thought that had been out for a while.
No, it's the new game, and then the rest of it's Queenies for Luxor. So
and Merlin you couldn't buy before either.
Yeah, Merlin was like, you could find it online here and there, but this is like,
I've had it for a year, so move on.
Merlin was the
under the radar game is Pioneers, by the way. Pioneers is great.
Yeah,
I played that forever. I played that. I played it with you? Did I play it with you? Maybe. Yeah, because I remember setting it up with you.
Could be.
I played it with somebody. I don't remember, but I liked it. I actually really like Pioneers.
Quinn Games.
Carson City's been out, so it's a big.
But they have a card game that's new. Carson City's card game is new. And then an expansion for La Costa Nostra, which I've been interested in trying because it's like a mafia style game, but Euro-y. So I've actually been interested to maybe check that out and see if it's any good. I've heard interesting things.
I haven't got a chance. I've got the La Cosa Nostra, but I haven't played it.
I've heard it's a very different kind of game. So
I'm just gonna say right now that I think Carson City is one of the best games ever to be made. It's
excellent. Rather
Don't
than
agree. It's a fine game, but it's not that great.
Well, it's no talisman.
No talisman. Come on.
Rather dashing games.
Yeah.
Awakening Lair. 2 to 6 players. 30 to 40 minutes. 14 plus $35.
I have always loved the name Rather Dashing Games. I always thought that was a cool name for a company.
All right, Ravensburger.
Jurassic Park,
This
which has
Jurassic
been
Park
available at Target for like a month and a half now.
And this game looks like hot, wet garbage.
Yet
This is
20
for
people
design,
must
yeah.
have. That's
Woodlands.
that's 20 more people than any
talking
18xx
about a
game on
game.
this list.
The game is called Woodlands. Red Raven Games. Near and Far expansion. Amber Mines.
Renegade.
I feel bad that I'm never gonna play. I have the Amber Mines expansion. I got it in the mail. I don't think. I mean, I've gotten past playing Near and Far. I'm never gonna play that expansion.
I like Above and Below way better than Near and Far. So
Yeah.
Well, that too, and I'm not gonna play Above and Below again anytime soon.
And below Amber Mines is Renegade Games.
Altiplano, it's been out.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
I don't recognize Altiplano being published by anybody. So
There's a pretty new, beautiful version of Arboretum that's going to come out. It's a great game. This Circus Puppy's been out for a while. Clink in Space Apocalypse. So now it's like post-apocalyptic space Clank.
It's an expansion for Space Clank, so I'm going to pick that up at Gen Con.
Yep, and an expansion for regular Clank, The Mummy's Curse.
Which has been out for a bit.
Yep.
Darcy, that's
Rocks
been
and Ruin.
Been out.
It's been
Yep.
out.
Gunky Mono.
Mono. Does anyone have any idea what this is? It looks at least a little interesting.
It is an area control, area influence, area include territory building game for 2 to 5,
All right, I'm
45 to
done.
60 minutes at age 10 plus for $40.
Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And next.
I'm done. I'm
He
done.
did the
This
Who's
isn't
out?
fun anymore.
Citrus. He did Citrus.
yeah, and Citrus out now by Team
Yeah.
Games.
New York Slice.
New York Slice is fun too.
New York Slice is
There's
fun.
one other one. New Amsterdam. There's another one. that was-
And an old school dice hero, Alia Yakta S.
Yep. Yeah,
That was a good old dice game.
chops.
Nothing.
Junk Orbit.
Junk Orbit's good, right?
Junk Orbit is really good.
Yeah,
And
I heard a
but
lot of buzz about this one.
It's
Why
in a
couldn't
horrible
you
package, but it's
just-
a fun game.
Why do you put it in that stupid box?
And that's the only thing I've heard negative about the game, which means the game actually must be good. But everyone
game
gets
is
mad
a
about the
ton
You
package.
of
just
fun, I
cut the
recommend it.
box.
It's
and
very
cut it
light.
open and
I
make
will
it
say it's pretty light, but I
This
like
is probably one I would
It's like-
repackage if it is. I haven't seen the components, but this is one I would
just
repackage in an
tiles.
extra expansion box. I'd take an old expansion box and just
Yeah,
replace it.
it's in that big tube. It's stupid tube packaging, but the game is a fun little pick up and deliver that plays super fast. It is out now though, so you can just go buy it.
Yep, it's been out for a little while. I saw it
Yep.
at the game store a few weeks ago.
Lucidity, I think, is already out, and I know Prowler's Package is already out, and Sabotage is already out. Spy Club just released.
I think I heard that they'll have the promo deck for Junk Orbit. If you bought the game outside, they'll have the promo deck at the.
Yeah, I got the promo deck
cool.
when I bought it at Origins, so it adds some new
just
shit
extra
to it.
stuff you throw around.
It's new ship powers.
Okay. Oh, that's actually cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Spy Club, like I said, I think that just came out.
Played
as well.
Lucidity.
Is Lucidity any good? It's been out.
It's interesting. I want to play it again to see if I like it or not, but I think it's got some interesting things, and the art really is really cool. There's two versions of the art. There's like a family friendly version and like a really scary version.
Okay.
They released T-Dragon Society at Origins, and then Wendake they're bringing to the U.S. for.
That's an older game, right? That's a reprint,
Yeah,
right?
it came out last
From
year.
Edson last year.
Yeah, it's an English version. Okay.
It's got a ton of pieces, like a million pieces.
Okay. Resonim, Visitors in Blackwood Grove.
This
It's
is
okay.
fun. 5-15 minutes. Yeah, it's worth it. It's a nice little filler game.
Yeah, right price point at $20 for a filler game too. So
Yeah, I could go on about my issues with it, but it's still a fun little party
We
game.
played this a bunch.
Yeah, we played a bunch of it.
Yeah, it's got a few issues, but it's fun.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
restoration.
Restoration game.
Dinosaur
Dinosaur
Tea
Tea Party.
Party.
Yeah, so this is that game we played where you pick people out of a lineup. I forget the name of it. The Cbon game.
Oh,
Unusual
Unusual
Suspects.
Suspects.
It's
Oh,
Unusual
so-
Suspects, but with animals.
Really?
That's kind of cool,
my
actually.
gosh.
So it's a non-racist unusual suspect.
It's
On
not
my
racist.
radar now, I'm super hooked.
Am I right? Oh, wait,
That's,
maybe I'm
that's
wrong.
something I'll probably take a look at. I'll put that
Oh
on.
wait,
the
you know
interest
what?
list.
No, that's not what it is.
Oh,
I apologize.
And Downforce is just a
something-
circuit track expansion. I think it's out already. I know I've picked it up already. I don't know if I picked it at a con though, but that's already out. Or
I
it is.
think it's getting ready to release, and that's a must-buy for me.
Yeah, I love Downforce. So it is. But it just adds the track. I don't think it adds anything else, does it? There's a little pack of cards in there, but nothing.
We'll skip over the next one because it's an expansion for Brass Empire. So if you care, there you go.
Let's make a prediction real quick on Restoration Games. What they're gonna make a big announcement. What are we thinking it is? I'm thinking Dark Tower.
I don't know. I don't.
I mean, if they got Dark Tower, I mean, that means that they somehow managed to get past so much legal red tape. Because
Or it's like re-theme of it.
well, maybe, but I mean, the whole and the thing is that I don't know. I mean,
Dark Tower won't hold up anyway.
Well, then neither.
Oh, maybe.
Well, come on. If you played the original Fireball Island, that game was shit.
Yeah, but it's more fun than Dark Tower because Dark Tower was really only good for us because of the electronic thing, which is so dated. And
well, I can remember,
Fireball Island, you get to roll the balls over people.
I can remember with Dark Tower
Well,
that after a
you
while
can
we
still
didn't
do
even
that.
play the board
Oh,
anymore.
I didn't play the board. I just carried the little tower around and played the game with that.
Yeah,
So-
you know, no, I mean Dark Tower was fine and we enjoyed it. But Dark Tower though, I mean, it was one of those things where I don't know. I just maybe if they I could see them doing it with an app, you know, obviously, and getting and something.
Kabuki has a
do
good
a
suggestion.
megavirus.
Thunder Road would be a good one for them to bring back.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that would.
Let's move on to Roxley with their brass editions.
So this is the same thing. Kickstarter backers have not gotten this, but they'll be selling it at Gen Con.
Kick move.
So it is a thing. This is such an anomaly of a game, though. So millions of dollars on Kickstarter for pretty brass, but I still think people backed it not knowing that they're going to get brass in the mail. And I don't think brass is a very approachable game. I think a lot of people are going to get this, open it, and never play it.
Well, it's like top 10 or top 15 on BGG, which just gets people all wet.
Yeah, it's just this is a super unapproachable, very, very, very not easy to play game, and I just
maybe they need to watch it
it's-
played. You know, or
it's
something.
still brass.
Could you do it if it's too big a game? Rodney's already said many times that if the game can't be done in a 30-minute video, he's not going to do a tutorial on it. This sounds like
We'll let Paul do it.
Well, it doesn't. Watch it played isn't going to help you play the game like well. Like it's still just going to be like, oh, what do I do? How do I win? How do I
Yeah,
get?
it's pretty opaque.
Hey, Joe, you got anything comparable to it? I've always wanted to try brass.
Oh, jeez. Brass is.
Yeah, it has a lineage.
It's like the first one.
I'm trying to remember what game it's sort of based on.
Well, it's
I mean,
Mark
there's-
Wallace, isn't it?
10.
I'm like most of his stuff.
I mean, there's some Age of
Industry
influence in there. Yeah. Well, that's just like brass light.
Yeah, there you go. Brasslight, Age of Industry.
But Age of Industry came out after Brass. Just you remember.
Right, but it's
It is.
brass light.
Well, yeah. No, you know what? In my opinion, I don't think Brass is that difficult. Honestly, Brass was
It's just
like.
opaque.
God, can I talk here? I mean, Brass for me was like probably it honestly was like probably the 5th or 6th designer board game I played, and I took to it like nothing. I mean, I might have had a good teacher, but I mean, it was like the first convention I ever went to. They were like, "You're gonna like this. You should play it," and I was pretty blown away by it. I mean, I was just like, "This is pretty amazing," and because I literally had never played anything like it, and it kind of opened up the heavier Euro world for me. So I don't know. I guess I'm not of the mindset that like people aren't going to play it. It's definitely, it isn't like Oh, it isn't like Debaucher, where it's just like, oh, I've heard this game's amazing, and then like you just never freaking play it because you're just like, I can't get past page 3 of the rules. You know, I think people will be fine. I know Gavin, and Gavin that guy can streamline a rule book like nobody's business. And I haven't seen the new rule books, but I'm gonna guess that they really went at it hard to make sure it was presentable to people.
All right, let's move on.
Let's power.
Yeah, we got power through, or else I'm out.
Yeah, we got Smiths of Winter Forge, which has some neat looking artwork, but not a lot of interest based on.
I got my collector's edition today. That was a Kickstarter thing that took forever to come out. There were just thousands of little delays, but it is a extremely solid, medium light little Euro that if you play with your family or play with your friends if you don't want to have to think super hard at the table and just want to enjoy and relax. I put it on that weird Pillars of the Earth scale type of game.
All right.
Man, that game looks generic as hell.
If it had come out when like they originally because the Kickstarter was almost 2 years ago now. If it had come out like back then, I mean, it's one of those things that maybe it would have done. Maybe it would have a little bit more excitement. But it's got some awesome art, and it's actually pretty fun. So,
Beast of Balance.
Yeah, it's an expansion, so let's bypass that one. That's the one with
the Beast of Balance game is actually really good family game.
Now,
really
so the next one does look a little bit interesting because this is the Alexa game.
Yeah, that is.
That's cool.
I'm going to see if I can get a review copy of this one.
So it ties into Alexa. It's a point-to-point set collection movement, but you let Alexa fly you around the world in the game. So I don't know if it's for me, but it's at least got something unique going. So these guys have some unique integration of technology in all their games.
Yeah.
Shoot again games with Bigfoot versus Yeti. I don't care.
Diana and Nick Sauer are two of the nicest people you ever meet in your entire life, and they make really, really fun. Nick did a lot of the old mystery rummy games with Mike Fitzgerald, and and his wife kind of always helped him with his designs, and they kind of decided they're going to do their own like little cool mystery rummy type games. And if you're a fan of that mystery rummy world, they just create these games, and Nick and they both are very much they very much enjoy like the whole weird weekly world news, like Batboy in a cave type stuff. They dig that theme. And they also had a game based on pinball that came out a year ago that was really, really good. Anyway, there you go.
It was good. I don't know if I go really,
the
really
cover art and the name just do nothing. So
yeah, I feel that this is misrepresented because the inside has really cool tabloid artwork, and that is not represented by what the game is called or what the cover looks like.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah,
because you're not going to grab a casual walking by looking at it like that.
Stonebound Saga by Sky Kingdoms Games. Looks like a quick dice game.
Yeah, 45 to 60 minutes. Available for purchase at multiple demo events, so they don't even have a booth. So Slugfest has more Red Dragon shit.
Yeah.
I got a super quick question. We already did games. I wasn't here. Has anyone tried Masters of the Universe yet? I'm super hyped for it.
That wasn't on the first
on the demo.
It wasn't on the list.
Yeah, it was.
It's
not demo.
Masters of the Galaxy.
Demos.
What?
Masters, what?
We're only doing games for sale because we don't
No,
want to be here.
Masters of the Universe was on the list because you guys
we said Masters of the Universe. Okay.
Galaxy.
Yeah, anybody played it yet? Masters of the Galaxy?
No.
Everyone's excited to, though.
Okay.
The next game I actually want to look at Gen Con because it looks like stupid fun. It's Cthulhu Kerplunk.
Yes, that one actually. I saw it last year and I did an interview. It looked really cool.
Now, are they gonna have a ton of these, or is it just gonna be like?
I don't know. It's for sale. He got the prototype. He got the sample copy from China during Origins. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited to. Once again, I want to play it. It looks really fun, but then I'm also like, you know what? I can wait.
Yeah, it's probably not anything I need right away, but it looks interesting. Then he's got a Smirking Laughter line with Before They Were Stars, Koi, and Not So Fast.
Not So Fast look kind of fun.
It was okay. I played it with my son and my wife, and it was, yeah.
Koi looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very funny though. Like the Not So Fast looks like it fits the branding, but the Koi and the Before They Were Stars do not look like Smirk and Laughter.
It's more the smirk than the laughter.
Soaring
Soaring
Rhino,
Rhino.
Shifting Realms. 1 hour, $75.
City
this is
building.
Jeff Van Ness and Craig
Yeah,
Van Ness.
the guys who worked at Hasbro. Craig Van Ness worked with Rob Davio on HeroScape,
Yeah.
and
This-
a bunch of games at Hasbro.
Actually, this does look really cool.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
They put a
pictures
lot
of it.
work into
And
this.
Oh, it's
it
got
looks
a big
really
old
nice.
plastic dragon in it.
Sold. This is better than Rising Sun.
Hail Hydra.
It might be worth taking
You
a
couldn't
look
find
at.
nicer guys either. They're really nice, really cool. I mean, just as nice as Rob Davio.
Excellent.
All right,
Starling. This is Game Salute rebranded.
Archmage, I've been waiting for Archmage. I met Tim Hirima. I don't know how to say his last name. And he's a really cool guy. I played Bonanza with him, and he's really, really sharp. So I'm very curious to see what this Archmage turned out.
I'm excited to check that one out too.
Yeah.
And then Everdell, which is another little animal.
Looks amazing.
Oh, that game is so fantastic, and I got my copy a few days ago.
Is
Which
the game good too?
it is
Oh,
really
awesome.
really good. I was actually really stunned at like just how much fun it was. So yeah, I mean it was one of those things where it's like too. I actually got they sent me a playtest copy a long time ago, and I was actually kind of proud of myself because I found like this huge problem in the game that they hadn't found. I was like, is this supposed to happen? They're like, oh my god, no. And so they actually went and fixed it. So like I was actually pretty proud of that.
What was the weight on that
That
one?
little 3D tree, that's cool.
What'd you say, bud?
Yeah.
What's the weight on that? Because I was looking at that one and maybe bringing it to my classroom.
I don't know. How old are your kids in the classroom?
They can play Pioneer Days. Comparable to that? Less? More?
Yeah, that's comparable.
It's probably
Okay.
this is a middleweight game.
The little tree for the game is pretty cool looking.
Yeah, the tree is stunning. And
Lava
all the
lava.
bits are really cool too. They're
Yeah,
all
it's got a lot of nice components. It looks
Yeah.
worth taking a peek at.
Yeah, they crushed it. And I mean, say what you will about Dan Yarrington. I'm sure it'll just be a matter of time before he trips over his own feet and takes a shit in his pants again. But
He's not lying.
he is really trying hard to change things around. And
Well, he stepped away from the game production side a little bit to let Dan May and Cody deal more with it too.
yeah, and so
And that's helped, to be honest.
and I'll say this. I'll say this. He swore that all the backers would get Everdell before
Yeah,
Gen Con,
I got it.
he did it. So there are a lot of other people that we've talked about in this thing that have way better reputations, and rightfully so. You know, in the board game publishing world, that made the same statement and didn't come through. So, you know, and they. I know they rushed, like they were like they hardcore pushed that production through for that game and got it done and got it into backers' hands. So, yeah, there you go. You know, I mean, you rebuild it's really easy to screw up and destroy your reputation, and it takes grains of sand one by one to refill that hole. And I like Dan as a person. I think he's a decent enough dude. He just can't get out of his own way, and sometimes, but I think he's making progress.
And they've been making good games lately. Like Black Orchestra was fantastic.
Yeah, Black Orchestra is great.
They're really turning it around instead of just cranking random Kickstarter garbage.
Yeah, the last 48 hours for the expansion Kickstarter, I think, just happened today.
All right. Next is Steve Jackson Games with a bunch of Steve Jackson games.
I will say
this: Illuminati Second Edition.
Blob Blobber is actually a pretty enjoyable $7 game, and my 2-year-old can play it, and it's a fun little one to pick up. It's not amazing, but it's fun enough.
I am actually considering picking up the second edition Illuminati. I'm sure it'll be $30. I'm just throwing it away because of the fact that but it holds all of the expansions, including like there were 2 expansions that you can't get anymore. Like they don't even exist, and like I was never able to find them. So I want to pick it up again. It is, I don't know. It is it's not a great game.
Did the rules change?
I'm wondering, did they refine the rules at all, or did they just?
It's like that bucket of crabs game. You know, bucket of crabs means game where everybody you're about to get out of the bucket and win, and everybody pulls you down.
Oh, everybody grabs you and drags you back down. Yeah. So, one of the most like masterful wins. So they were having that in high school with a friend of mine. Fooled my best friend in high school who passed away. But I mean, he because you can trade. He said, "Hey, I'll trade you this for this. I'll trade you these 3 things for that thing." And he's like, "Yeah, sure." Before any of us were saying no, because he got his like last group that.
And Stoneblade Entertainment.
Munchkin, well, all right, bunch of Munchkin if you want it.
Yeah, Stoneblade
Munchkin
Entertainment
Starfinder.
has more Ascension.
So let me get this straight. I tell a story about one of my best friends in high school who's dead, and you muted me. Is that what you're trying to say?
That was just bad timing.
I also want to say Munchkin Side Quest. If anybody watching is a Munchkin fan, it's really good.
Yeah, possibly.
You gotta be kidding me.
I think that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Stonemeyer has My Little Scythe. Is this the first time it's available in retail?
Yeah.
There's going to be a billion people that are
you better get it quick.
It doesn't look that high.
It is my family game of the year. It is excellent. I played it with my 5-year-old. It is absolutely phenomenal. And the fact that it's only $50 with the miniatures and the box insert and the components is absolutely incredible. This one is fantastic.
But this is probably one that you're going to want to just buy after the fact, because trying to get in line for this one's probably going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And Scythe, The Rise of Fenris, the expansion. Again, I think first available here. This should be the last expansion from what has been said. But
yeah, he said it was. And this is another one. Again, these are going to be hot commodities. If you can't get there on day one early, just plan on ordering it at home.
Curious
Strange.
what the campaign is.
I'm hyped.
Strange Machine Games.
Dice of the Caribbean.
Oh, this
actually
I
just
saw this at Gamma. This looked actually really cool, and I don't even know Robotech.
Oh, are you talking about the Robotech game?
Wait, this one is. Oh wait, is this the one?
This is
There's
to
like
the
This is the one that's like
games coming out,
ridiculous with the stuff. Like it's super cool. If it's what I'm thinking.
This is 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the one. It probably no. Yeah, it's based on Japanime. Yeah, for sure.
Is this
All
the
right.
Dave Killingsworth game?
No,
No, it's the other one.
No, this is not.
but this one looked really cool too. But
Yeah,
it looked like a real ordeal. Like I mean, a lot going on.
Does anybody want to run through Stronghold stuff? Because it looks, I don't know anything about this.
Fist of Dragon Sons is a reprint of the original Fist of Dragon Sons, but they really maxed it out. I don't know if you can play it. Sort of like a negotiation game where you're stealing money and you have to split it up, and everybody's got character cards and powers and stuff. It's fun, and it's Runa Faduti, Michael Schacht. I guess the Michael Schacht added in on this one.
The next 3 he already had out.
Gold
Kids
Pusher,
Rush is
Pusher,
fun.
Pusher Luck
I got a
Game.
chance to try that at Essen. That was a really good work placement.
Yeah, these look like
Gold
old
Pusher
releases. Old releases that are now just in English.
Old.
I don't know about Nimble. Is Nimble new?
Nimble is new. That one wasn't.
Nimble is. Paper Tales is a English first version,
Right.
and the expansion obviously is new. Spring Meadow looks new.
Spring Meadow is the 3rd in the Uwe Rosenberg
forgettable
there.
Forgettable
It looks
tile.
pretty good.
It looks to me more like the last one than Cottage Garden, and I hated the last one.
This one is more thinky.
Yeah,
you might like it.
I watched Eric's video of it, and I was like,
entice
nope,
you?
I'm out, because the Harvest one I hated. I thought it was horrible.
Steamrollers is a 2015 game that's just getting an English version this year.
Yeah, they only
Well-
made like 200 copies though.
Well,
It's
but
good.
Steamrollers was an
Great.
expansion. Well, they did Kickstarter like last year or something for it. I don't know.
Yes, they did. But Steven's version is very good. I played it on the cruise a bunch of times, and it's rolling right, but really good.
Steamrollers
Up
is super fun. I'm going to say that.
It's just not $50 fun.
Is Prelude its own thing?
No, it's
No,
an
it's
expansion
for
so
Terraforming
it's like-
Mars.
That's the
I
one
am
that you're going to get trampled if you try to get.
I am
Yeah.
so tired of Terraforming Mars. At this
Yeah,
point.
but people love
Come on,
Terraforming
Terraforming
Mars.
I can't
Yeah.
wait for the app. I'm gonna smash that app so much when that comes out for the iPad.
How do you smash a piece of digital information?
He's going to do it.
Take your phone and throw it
Don't be an old
against the wall.
fogey, man.
Because I'd rather do that than play Terraforming Mars.
Here comes the joke about skipping this guy. Anyway,
It's called Whoosh, which came out of that.
Lance, this is all you, but keep it quick.
that's
really
fine.
impressed with
Chimera and Flow History. If you didn't get this is probably, I think this is the last of our deluxe for both of these. So if you want a deluxe and you're not at Gen Con, and you want a copy, send somebody you know there to snag one for you, because we'll probably sell out the rest of those. Jungly Law is a fun little dice rolling game. Comes in a little tiny box from Hisashi Hayashi. It's it is exactly what you think it is.
Hey, Lance,
Yep.
this real quick. How about get some more pictures of it so we can see it on BGG, because you've got like one kind of picture.
The problem is that like all of we don't have any copies of it. We're air freighting in
Gotcha.
the copies that we have. So
Okay.
we got copies going to like Scott King and stuff like that that'll take a bunch of pictures and and get it done. So I've only played a prototype of this. And then the other one, Trade on the Tigress, I haven't even played because there's literally one copy in existence right now, and it's been ping-ponging among reviewers. And this is the Jeff Engelstein, Ryan Sturm game where they made the joke about, hey, everybody seems to be making a game about trading in the Mediterranean. And so then they decided, oh, well, why don't we actually make that? And so they actually made the game. It's actually quite fun. I think the one thing people have a problem with is it's 3 to 6 players, because people are always like, 2 players. There's no 2-player version of it, and there isn't. But yeah, and both Jungly Law and Train of the Tigress, we've only got about 140 copies. So if you want to get them, you got to get them then. But you can expect to see them in retail in about a month or so. They are on the boat, so to speak. So
Cool.
yeah, there you go. And Train of Tigers, everybody's told me it's way fun. Man vs. People called me today. They're like, hey, have you played this? Nope. And it's like, dang it, we had a rules question. I was like, call Dan King. And if you want to check out his review, he loved it. It made his top 10 games that I've already played that I am going to pick up at Gen Con because they're awesome list or whatever. Anyway, moving on. Next.
Thunder Griff Games has been killing it on Kickstarter. They are doing everything they do is like doing really well. But they have Dead Men's Doubloons, which is one of their older games, I think. Maybe this is a new edition. But then
I backed Dead Man's Doubloons Unseen. It just looked kind of neat. And yes, I would agree. It's quite good.
Is it good? It has cool looking pirate ships.
And then
Yeah.
Spirits of the Forest is a beautiful, like, abstract strategy game, but it is gorgeous. So,
Was this a Kickstarter?
yep.
Yep.
Did
I
they
had like
deliver?
fancy eggs. I'm sure, maybe. I don't know. I didn't back
I'm
it.
just wondering if it made it. I feel like I backed it, but I don't think I got it yet.
Hmm.
Yeah, people are asking about shipping.
Thunderworks has an expansion for role player, so if you like role player,
But that's been out. It was a Kickstarter. It came out. Also a Minnesota native, so I have to just do that shout
It's
out.
been out there a bit, but it's a good game.
It's a
Role
good
player is
game.
awesome. I
Yeah,
Role
love
Player
role
is an
player.
awesome game, and that expansion is great. So if you don't have it yet, I would
Actually,
highly
I
recommend it.
really like that expansion. so-
I do too.
Yeah, Keith Matika is also super nice.
Yeah, I think Lance introduced me to him at Origins.
Yeah.
Cody Stevens, good friend of mine, Twin City Games. This will be the inaugural launch of Dino Dunk. He was at Origins but didn't have the game. He was just kind of showing it off. But Dino Dunk is a dexterity flicking game about dinosaurs playing basketball, and it is a lot of fun.
I reviewed this last week, and I thought it was good.
It looks like caveman curling that goes both directions.
No, it's got a lot more to it. The target demographic, though, the kids in my class thought it was great. I thought it was good. They thought it was great. So
cool.
Yep.
But it does actually. It has some really cool special abilities with the dinosaurs, which was neat.
Yep.
USA
Monopoly. Can we skip it? Can we skip all this stuff?
No,
Aldi will talk about a few of these
because he loves Monopoly.
Blank Slate. I want to play it.
All right, moving on.
Deadpool versus the World's good party game. It's basically a new version of it's a little apples to apples, but you create the punchline.
Yeah, you create stuff, so it's better than those.
It's better.
So
I like Privacy too,
but it's already
Deadpool
out.
stuff is very fun.
Fantastic Beasts game
Co-op.
Is this like a sequel to the Harry Potter game?
No.
Yeah, but meh, who cares?
No.
Okay. Privacy?
I don't think it's a sequel.
It's not a sequel.
Privacy looked fun. Is that playable in a mixed audience?
No.
Okay. Samurai Jack, Back to the Past.
What do you mean in a mixed audience?
Well, if you don't know everybody, like a con game, like where you may pull people in and you don't really know them.
Are you potentially going to piss somebody off?
Well, it's like
it's weird questions. Like who here has never?
Well, here's the thing.
I don't even want to come up with an
Yes.
example.
How many people have done stuff, and if you don't know the people, it's like fuck am I know?
Yeah, the
well,
con,
okay.
it won't work at a con.
So like, but wait, there's more has an expansion. But wait, there's even more that has like the After Dark cards, and the After Dark cards are raunchy as. I mean, it's like it's seriously like the product you have is it is a female anatomy massager, but they're actually like the cards actually say the name of the female anatomy, or whatever. It's just it doesn't leave anything to the imagination. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Samurai Jack is out.
Is it? I haven't seen Samurai Jack out yet. Is it?
Love that
for sale.
cartoon.
I love the
that
cartoon.
cartoon.
It
Oh
actually
my
comes
God.
with pre-painted minis, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I saw it at Dice Tower
And
Con.
it's Andrew Wolf.
Oh yeah, okay. I did see this at Dice
Yeah,
Tower
and
Con.
Andrew Wolf is after playing Thanos Rising. I'm all in with his designs for the immediate future. I was very happy with that. So
Samurai Jack is one of the rare cartoons that actually ended well.
and it's only $35.
Stop talking about it.
Even if you're a Samurai Jack fan, $35. It's not a big investment, even if the game is
But
so-so.
you should be a Samurai Jack fan because Samurai Jack is awesome.
Yep, Super Mario Brothers Power Up. I'm sure it's just like the the Nintendo Power Up card game. It looks very similar to it.
No, I thought this was an expansion. Oh, never mind.
No, it's its own underwater edition. So you're playing the underwater level of Mario in this one.
I was excited.
Same game, different. Yeah, they're just.
What are Mario's overalls made out of? Denim.
Oh God!
Trivial Pursuit, Harry Potter.
Don't care.
All right.
Don't care. Van Ryder.
Big Score is fun. I like Big Score a lot.
$50 for like a card drafting game, though. I mean, that just seems kind of.
It's got this really big 3D grand finale where you set up this bank.
Oh yeah, look at the
The
pictures.
components were nice. I liked it. It comes with fancy poker chips. I'm curious to see how it would play with less players. I played it with 5. I don't think I'd like it with much less than 4, but it's a really cool game.
And then an expansion for it.
Mm-hmm.
An expansion for Nemo's War, so we can skip that.
More Star
Nemo's
Realms.
War is one of the best solo games you'll ever play. Done.
So there, go buy your expansion for it.
End of thread.
White Wizards has more Star Realm stuff. If you're a Star Realms fan,
Yeah, this is a new.
Hey, did Van Ryder not list off the graphic novels?
Nope.
No.
All they have listed here
I don't
for
think they're
sale. Maybe
They're
cut
not
them out.
good on them.
They're not listed on PGG.
I was talking to them. I really think that if anybody comes up and does those, but with kids in mind, man, those would be huge.
Yeah, they're too mature, right?
Yeah, because I talked to him, was like, are any of these something I could like read with, like a 10, 11-year-old? He's like, no. And it was just like, that's such an untapped market because kids would go nuts for that stuff.
I'm probably going to pick those up like when he was going through that. So
they looked cool.
The new Star Realms has a co-op mode, by the way. That's what interests me the most.
Ooh, I'm getting that anyway, but now I'm even more excited.
Yeah, but it's got a bunch of stuff.
Cool. WizKids.
Eldritch Horror, Twister.
Really? Eldritch Horror Twister, you shitting me.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
He's serious.
I'm totally
Owner.
Oh, F that.
I think. I mean, read the description.
No, there's a picture of it. They're playing freaking Twister.
Oh
right.
my god, I'm
Next,
so in.
Doppelganger.
I'm so in.
Should we put that in the
Oh,
hot
God.
games room?
How do you play Twister on tiles when the shit's just going to slide across the floor and break your neck?
Oh, it's
Yep.
tiles.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
tiles.
you're gonna. I mean, they got to have some weird backing on it. So you.
There's got to be, or else that'd be a lawsuit
They're
waiting to
going to
happen.
hurt themselves. I'm telling you,
Mhm.
people are going to F themselves up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say this right out here. I've seen the people that normally are at conventions. We are not of the
Twister.
Yeah,
whoa! Don't lump all of us in there. I'm excited for that one. That is all my.
Whatever.
Just like,
You
whatever.
I'll
do
play
it.
Twister with you, Forrest.
All right, well,
There we
you two
go.
can go play Twister with like 500 other people at Gen Con that probably haven't showered in 3 days and tell me how that goes for you.
Yeah.
Do you guys know the
Doppelganger.
Doppelganger with Stephen
We'll go
Avery,
play it
Robert
in the
Burke?
Naked Werewolf room.
Oh, this is
Hey,
Avery.
two things about Doppelganger. That has
Oh,
been
yeah.
that has been in like design and development for ever. Like I played a demo of that like 3 years ago with Robert Burke. And
Really?
secondly, I'm in the game. I'm the berserker. But what's better is
Anthony's
that
in it.
Anthony is the corrupt
The
sausage
guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
the corrupt sausage.
So
merchant.
I want to play this just because Anthony's a corrupt sausage vendor in it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess for that alone, I'm interested in that game.
Yeah.
Fury of Dracula, third
I just played that for
fourth
the first
edition.
time tonight. That was really good. Way too
Yeah,
long.
but this is nothing new. I mean, it's the exact same version as the Fantasy Flight version that was done. It's that's why they call it 3rd/4th. I don't think there's any changes other than it's now with WizKids.
Pre-painted minis.
Oh, that's the only thing. It's got pre-painted minis because the other one didn't. So is that the only difference it has?
Maybe.
I
new
actually
art-
thought
No,
the
New art and
second.
graphics,
I think they
I thought
changed it a little
second
bit.
edition is better than that.
and
one.
I've heard that as well. That it's not
Combat
that
is
third
more
edition was even-
streamlined.
So yeah, this is a good one if you don't want to paint your minis or you like this new graphic art style, but otherwise it's the same old.
Or you couldn't get the other one for some
Or you couldn't get it because it was out of print. Correct.
So I grabbed a
Maiden's
copy
Quest.
of Maiden's Quest at Origins, and I've been trying to figure out how to play it correctly, but it's super hard. It's like you play by yourself, but then you can join with another person who has a deck, and you play together.
That doesn't sound interesting.
It's interesting. It's an interesting idea, but I haven't put enough time into it to know how it works. But it's kind of cool,
Hey,
And-
SEAL
and
Team
and it's a
Fox.
female protagonist.
Ken Shannon is promoting the F out of this at Gen Con.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about SEAL Team Flicks, but I've not seen it played yet.
SEAL Team Fucks.
Yeah,
Read the box.
Steve Flux.
I saw. I mean, just too bad Rob left. Rob picked up a copy of that at Origins, and he was really excited to play it.
This
yeah,
is
Richard,
the
Richard's got a copy at Origins too. I'm actually going over to his house tomorrow, so I may get a chance.
It's Rainbow Six, the flicking game is
Once
what
you
it
But this
is.
is a 2-hour flicking game. What
Well,
the
the 45
hell?
But the weird thing, okay, so if you look at this, it's like I'm not a fan of the graphic design at all.
No,
like
I'm not either.
it seems very austere for me.
So I flat up walked up to the guy at the booth and called it SEAL Team Fucks, and he's like, "Most people don't say it to my face." I'm saying, "Design your freaking font better, then." And I just walked away. I was just a dick because I mean, seriously, you use that little cut block style, and you put an L and an I next to each other. You don't want me to make fun of it? Get smarter.
All right, well, not much more to say about that.
Ah!
Galactic Enterprises. Know nothing about this game,
Intergalactic planetary.
and apparently they don't either because they don't have a playtime or a recommended age.
Well,
for it.
and I'll say this: it is actually
It's
I
a
played
Ferengi
that.
game.
I played that at Origins. It is a Ferengi game, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you might want to play it because it is a very, very hardcore bluffing, negotiation, screw each other over auction bidding game. And if that's your type of game, they do it really well. And all the cards actually do have the actual Ferengi rules of acquisition. And straight from the Star Trek, like whatever it was, like the rule of acquisition #1, like the reason for profit is profit or something like that. It begins with that, and it's all the rules of acquisition. So if you're a Star Trek guy and you like auction, or girl, and you like auction bidding negotiation games, you'll like that game.
Wonderforge.
Big Money has no description, has no pictures, but it's $20, so whatever.
Big money.
The Incredibles.
The Incredibles save the day. It's a cooperative dice game. It's a quick one, so it doesn't look that. Villainous, I've been hearing a lot about. It looks real. Villainous actually looks really cool. The components look nice, and a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah,
but that one looks
definitely on my list for sure.
It looks pretty neat. I went ahead and pre-ordered it. It comes out Sunday.
Yep.
Oh, so you can look up for the show.
You can buy it. It's shipping from Target, Amazon, every place on Sunday.
Okay.
You blew it. Looks like just a dice, a lucky dice game.
That's already out at Target, FYI.
Yeah. Nope.
No. There we go.
Yeah, no.
Wyvern Games Short Order Hero.
Is that a cooking game? Yeah, it's a cooking game.
Yeah, that looks like it could be. No, it's
I
a
don't know
cooking
what it
game.
is. I have a soft spot for cooking games. I like cooking games. I don't know why.
Yeah, but I don't want a party game one. I want like a restaurant game that actually has some meat to it. But whatever. They're all the restaurant games are party games.
Zephyr Workshop Aegis combining robot strategy game.
Where are you at?
Did you skip Z-Man?
Right below Super Short Order Hero.
Nope.
Did you
skip Z-Man?
You skipped Z-Man.
Z-Man's below Zephyr Workshop on my list.
Not on ours.
No, not on ours.
Your shit's borked, Aldi.
I know, it's broken.
Yeah. Z-Man. House of Danger.
Weird.
Adventure.
That's out though.
It is out. It's in Target.
So is Faye, right? Which is a redo of
I don't know.
I don't know what did a redo.
I know Choose Your Own Adventure is because I already bought it at
The
Target
Leo
last week.
Colavini game.
Tribes.
Plans.
Have you played it yet, Pete?
No, I have not, but I was looking through it and it looks really good.
Is this Mel Brooks game, History of the World?
It looks good.
Never played a History of the World?
Nope.
History of the World is an old school game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it that old? Is it that one from before?
It is.
Why is it 2018 then? Is it like a redo?
It's remade.
Well, the old game had some super big problems.
Well, maybe they fixed them.
Well, this is not a small game. It's 3 to 6 players and 180 minutes. So
no. And the old game, I remember I tracked a copy down because I was super excited to play it, and then I was like really underwhelmed. Like about 2 hours into it, I think we piled it in, and we were just like, yeah, this isn't fun. But that's from a long time ago, though. That game was out like 8 years ago.
Yeah,
all right. Well, then we don't need to talk about it.
I'll take this next one. Lowlands is generic garbage. It does not need to exist. It is terrible. It is like I feel like Uwe Rosenberg could have designed this game in 20 minutes sitting on the toilet. Like this game has no reason that it needs to even belong on a table. It is the most meaningless, most unworthwhile game I have ever played.
But it has flooding.
This game.
It has flooding.
I hate this game.
You get to flood your sheep fields.
I hate this game.
Hey, Joe,
such a generic,
Joe, tell us how you really feel.
Boring concept.
It looks like their attempt to have a Euro game that I watched a playthrough of it and I shut it off halfway. It didn't do much for me.
So there we go. Lowlands. If you like shit games, go ahead and get it.
No, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are really going to be like, oh, this is great. But I just think it's just generic and has nothing interesting that it's doing. which is to me the biggest sin a game can commit. Be garbage, but be at least interesting garbage. Don't be just mediocre, boring blandness. Ugh.
Mesozoic English edition, 2 to 6 players, 20 minutes, $20.
No idea what that is.
No
I don't
idea
know,
either.
It's
It's not a very large description for a game that's only a 20-minute game.
And for $1 a minute, I don't know.
So there you go.
Newfoundland Race 2.
Why is real time becoming a thing?
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't
sick
know.
of real-time games.
I don't like real-time games at all. Every real-time game we have, 90% of the time when we play them, we end up playing them turn-based just because. Like any real-time game that my daughter has, we always end up just taking turns because it's just.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm totally done with real-time.
Yeah, I am too.
Anybody play Race to the Newfoundland?
Nope.
Nope.
It's a race game.
It's got a hefty price tag.
How much is it?
$60.
$60. See, is that hefty? Because that seems like the average price tag.
Is that the average now? I mean,
Yeah.
$60 is the new
I would say
50.
60 has got to have like a lot of game in there.
Everybody throws
Well,
60
if you look at
dollars.
the pictures, it's just cubes and a
And
cardboard
wood.
board. It doesn't have anything that would wow
That
you.
does not
Hey.
inspire me in any way.
No, it doesn't. There's nothing in this box that shouts
Kind of looks
out.
like a
It looks like a
Coco
Euro.
Polo box.
hmm
It's got them boat meeples.
Yeah, it's very forgettable.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Aegis combining robot strategy game.
Designer of Helios.
Wow,
I really did not think this looked very interesting. They tried to get me to do the Kickstarter, and I was just like, I looked at the rules and was like,
It's just a grid. It's just a hex
Yeah.
grid
it looked boring.
with standings.
Notes
on it.
co-designer Breeze Grigas. We have an ad in the coupon book. Where just like,
Ugh.
that's your
He's a
note.
super nice guy, though. They're both super nice guys. I interviewed him.
You interview everyone.
Yeah, you said you're
I
going to
haven't interviewed you, Pete.
Fantastic.
I haven't interviewed you.
You have, like I said, you interview everyone.
Oh shit, I have. Oh yeah. That's right.
All right, we survived. We mostly made it through that list.
Yeah, I mean wasn't that bad actually. Honestly, I mean,
Pete's
Yeah.
like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
2 a.m. It's 4
So
hours.
I'm rolling
2 a.m.
out.
Eternal.
So I'll see you guys next week.
Yep.
that's right. We'll see you next week.
Who's on
Pete?
Tuesday? Who's on the Tuesday crew? Pete's on the Monday crew, but who else is?
I'm on the Monday crew.
I'm on Wednesday morning crew.
I'll be there Tuesday, but I'll be doing work stuff.
I'll do Tuesday.
Pete, I will call you in the morning, or I'll text you in the morning. When
Let's
I get
make
up.
it later morning because I'm gonna be sleeping in a little bit.
Well, I probably will too. So
Yep, it's fine. Call me.
Berkey,
We'll see you
do
there
it
Monday.
what? Oh, somebody woke Kevin up.
Yeah.
Berkey, I need to
Silent
get you
for
when
a
I get to
good
Gen
2
Con.
hours. A good 2 hours. I hadn't heard a peep from him, and then I heard a yeah, and I'm like, oh, he's still here.
Hey, how come those of us that work from home don't ever just jump on one of these calls and just talk while we're working?
I don't know. It's a good question.
We do all the time, Joe.
Don't even lie. Don't even lie.
You
I was
finish
thinking
your
about that the other
fulfillment,
day. I was like, I wish I just talk to someone while I'm working. I don't do anything.
Night, night.
Night.
Aldi,
Aldi,
Aldi.
Thank you.
Later.
All right, see you guys.
later. Aldi,
Bye.
we made it happen.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, so we'll see you soon.
Yep, see you soon.
All
Hey,
right.
how many tabletoppers are going to be on the floor at Gen Con?
23 publishers right now.
Nice.
So you'll see them
Cool
everywhere.
tabletoppers.
We're going to be up in the CGE room on the second floor, but we're going to have them all over. Cool Vinny or Not's doing their whole booth too. So
How many tabletoppers are going to be in
on
the
the floor,
no, on like in the hot games room?
at least 2.
At least 2. Yeah.
Scott
Yeah.
Adley is going to let you have at least 2, huh?
I've got 30 of them in my trailer loaded up, and I had to LTL freight 2 pallets over there to take care of Cool Mini or Not, and so it's we're loaded up.
I know. I've been in that room that he's in right now.
You probably have this
Cool.
upstairs. Yeah.
I'm taking off, guys.
All right, yeah. Let's just call it a night. Good talking to you both, and thanks for everybody for sitting through the extravaganza, as it were.
Yeah.
Twice.
See ya.
See you next week.
Bye,
See you
guys.
later.
See you next week.
I got